hello everybody. Hello and welcome. I am tired. Great intro as always. Hey, but I'm not a streamer boy. I'm barely a boy. So how's everybody doing this morning? Anybody excited? Because I don't know. Something's in the air with this preview. I feel kind of weird about it. I feel something's gonna happen. So let me just ask real quickly. Also, how are we doing this morning? How's everybody doing? But also, what kind of things are you expecting to show up in the preview? I have a few predictions because of a few leaks that I've been keeping my my ears to the ground for. I don't know if anybody's been keeping an eye on the Horus Heresy leaks. I don't know if anybody saw my most recent video that came out like an hour ago. That's also really funny. That video, no one's watching it, and it's most likely because everybody's watching every stream that went up to watch everything, for the previews. Yeah, but the end point of that video is discussing the leaks for the Horus Heresy, and I have a few theories. That's going on. I have a few theories, so yeah, we'll figure that out. But I got a few ideas. But I wanna hear what everybody else is thinking, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying squats. I know. Oh God, there's this one content creator that rose up recently. Not really rose up. He's known for doing Plants vs Zombies content on Maine, if I remember correctly, and which is weird. But then he decided to make a side channel, and that channel is talking only about Warhammer 40k, and it's actually popping off quite a lot, and I think it's really cool. But he and a bunch of other, it's Shagrot's side quest, yeah. He's about to live stream, and he's looking for the land train too. And there's a bunch of other people that squats. I think Valrak might be putting the tinfoil hat on to be discussing squats as well. Also, I saw earlier, Enoch Trismegistus, 5 gift subs. I thank thee so much. Taking in what feels. Okay. Expecting Dark Eldar Codex last minute. My money is on Eldar getting snuffed again. I'm begging for new squads. Yeah. My HH predictions. True Scale Cataphracti, Mark 4 Ts, and possibly Mark 5 Ts. Yeah, Muppet, you're actually like 100% on the money. There was a leak that came out. There was an image. Shout out to one of my editors, Linky. She does the editing on my my members only videos. So that's cool, but once a year so far, I've been meeting up with her to play Horus Heresy, and so she drip feeds me a bunch of Horus Heresy leaks that have been coming out, and that's how I've kind of been getting a lot of my information. They sent me this screenshot that came from, I think it was Liber Hereticus or Liber Astartes, or one of the two books, and it just showed the new Cataphracti Terminators drawn, and a Mark IV Assault Marine, which that's cool. I'm glad that those are in the books, because I don't know what the opinion is of the Cataphracti Terminators. I like them. I like the way they look. I like the stature of them. Because, the old Cataphracti Terminators, they were great and all, but they all had that look of, oh God, what's it called? They look like high-level World of Warcraft paladins, where they had these gigantic pauldrons that basically just made up the entirety of the bulk of their body. And now that we have the Saturnine Terminators, those are the pauldron boys. Those are the pauldron boys. So the new Cataphractis look like they have spalders, which are flatter and a little bit higher up, and I really like the look of them. But Mark IV would be cool, because that means I can finally dust off my my Night Lords and actually get to play them too. Death Knight, yeah, no, for real, they do have kind of a Death Knight feel to them. Hoping for a Harlequin range refresh here, even if there's no hope. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a range refresh for them until at least 11th edition. I think they're going to be a Kroot style Steid army. Okay. A Kroot style. Why is this so hard? A Kroot style side army for a little while for the Craft World's Eldar. So they might come out later. Also, I just missed a donation. We got Captain Marmu. Take my money, Bone Man. Thank you. Appreciate it. $2. X Splamalama. Yell Dorn. Yeah. Sword, yeah! Cool. I heard that one echo down the hallway. Hope none of my windows were open. It's comically enough an earlier day stream, so I don't have to worry about noise complaints. I will state, if if we get new squats, and I mean like actual squats, if we get a single infantry character announced, I'm losing my mind in a bad way. But if we get like an actual like 2 units, not characters, just units, you'll be able to hear me. You'll be able to hear me from wherever you are in whatever country you're in. Also, $5 from McFatson. Still mad over Slanesh Demons. I bought about 125 Canadian worth of used chariots 2 weeks before they went to Legends. Thanks for the clown video. See, this person saw it. I'm getting a lot of people adding me in the Discord server, being like, "Oh, did you lose a bet and have to make an Eldar video?" That just shows me you didn't watch the video. But, you know, it'll happen. You just reminded me about the lemon guy from Adventure Time. Yeah, Lemon Grab? Yeah, I used to do like Lemon Grab impressions back in like high school because I don't know, I just vibe with loud characters. I know like saying loud equals funny is a sign of you kind of being a bit of a baby brain, but I am. I've never said I wasn't. I do like loud equals funny sometimes. Oh, funny story about Tartaros Terminators. I sidestepped that bullet so much. Guys have no fucking clue how hard I dodged that. So I know a recaster who will get me like whatever upgrade kits that I want. And they're really cheap, so I just had to pay for the resin that he uses to recast everything. So I get Horus Heresy stuff. I wanted to play Cataphracti for Iron Warriors or like Heavy Legions, but I also wanted to play like Tartaros Terminators for my Night Lords, because I actually want to lean more into Atramentar Night Lords more so than like Jump Pack Night Lords. It's just kind of my own little preference. So I wanted to get a bunch of Tartaros Terminators. And the Tartaros kits, I bought them. I thought it was really cool, and I was like, but Power Fists and the Lightning Claws on the Tartaros Terminators don't look cool. They don't look cool to me, and they don't fit the aesthetic that I wanted to go for. So I bought a bunch of like recast Power Axe arms. So all of my Tartaros Terminators have combi bolt guns and Power Axes. So I sideswept that fucker. That was funny. Reveal starts in about 50 minutes. Arthur is a baby servo skull. How fucking dare you? Oh, $15 from Dice97. Hi, I'm Dice. I found your channel just this year and enjoy listening along while painting or at work. Your videos feel really conversational. Great for queuing up a ton. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Much appreciated. I do enjoy making these videos, so yeah. Yeah, I vibe with that. I wanted mine to be more Dreadnought heavy. You know, okay. Cool. Thank you. A few people in chat. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, thank you. Good news. $2 from Ran. I'm bringing the word bearers to AOS. What? Mr. Bone smells, and I hope Mr. Bone is doing good. Yes. Doing good. It's been... I slept in too long today, so I'm still kind of waking up a bit. Which, it's weird, because I'm like usually like an 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. kind of guy. But I woke up at like 8 a.m. today, and I was like, nah, this ain't the vibe. So I went back to bed and woke up at like noon. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm dying. I saw someone ask earlier, I forgot to mention this, but my opinion on the new Horus Heresy, it looks good. It looks fine. Rules-wise, it looks good. It looks like it answered a few things, or a few questions that I had that I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. But it gave me like a lot of, how do I even put this? It answered questions that I had for the first one and made things a lot smoother to get into, but it also added new complications that I don't think should be there. Like, I love the challenging system that they have now, where like challenges are a lot more interesting, but I think that it's going to stall the game quite a long time. Oh, we got someone refreshing their membership to Arthur Lord. I got my girlfriend into Warhammer because of you, and now she repeats her intro every time she sees me. This is my curse. That is, in fact, my curse. Let's see. Dylan Gassai, that was from Gappy earlier. Also, Part 8 JoJo based. Don't have anything to say. Thanks for interesting viz. Thank you. I've got some interesting shit coming up soon. Just checking it. If they fuck up squats, I will become an ogre in EGW. Yeah, nah. I'm trying to keep my hopes, my expectations tempered. That you can get is one character for the canon. The rest range, yeah, 1 unit per edition. That makes sense. My main issue with Mono God Chaos 40k armies is the lack of variety. For example, World Eaters do not get jump packs, and Emperor's Children don't get the Hellbert. Yeah, the fact that the Emperor's Children don't get Hellberts is crazy to me. I picked up the Emperor's Children. They were kind of going to be my stunt army. I think I've said this on live stream a few times. If you guys watch me on live stream. By the way, if you don't watch me on live stream, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? I stream every Sunday on the evenings, 7 p.m. EST. Me and my buddy Kalani, we do random bullshit. All the streams are up and live. But, yeah, I think I've mentioned it before, but I picked up the Emperor's Children as kind of a stunt army. I did it just so that I could... Oh, God, Crack Duck in the chat. Good morning. Oh, God, it must be early for you, because I don't know the time zone, but I know it's probably like, what, 10 a.m.? I don't know how that blighted wasteland you live in works. But yeah, I picked up Emperor's Children to basically put all of my effort into as just like a flex, right? I'm putting all my painting and my modeling and my basing and everything into it just to do that. Crack Duck Mr. Bones collab. I don't know. I just know the guy in person. It's kind of weird, actually. So I don't think me and him, I think we streamed once. No, maybe twice. But nah. Crack Duck's good guy, cool guy. Very different in person, but like, it's just his energy levels are so different. It's so funny. 10 a.m. and I didn't sleep much. Might crash. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. For me, when you stream, that's also very fair. It's 11:40 a.m. here in Vail, Colorado. Okay, interesting. So when does the riot start? The second they don't announce any new Votann. Let's see a game between them. See a game? I might. I've been paging up some Kill Team shit. We streamed thrice, if we count Mishmash streams. Yeah, because we did stream like a little while ago when my internet just kind of shit the bed. Yeah. Are you going to make an appearance on Astartes Anonymous new channel since it's not monetized? I don't know. I talk to Tom all the time. Like, Tom's a great guy. Like, Tom Moots... I don't really talk to Aaron too much, but like whenever I speak with them, they're really, really fun. All of them are pretty good. I don't know if they're gonna have me on at any point, but like, you know, good. They're still fun. Let's see. McFatson with $2. No, Raptors is why. I 100 or I 180'd on buying Emperor's Children. Enraging. Yeah, it's kind of weird they're making weird, just very weird decisions. Cause like. It's not horrible, because I did, like, research. There was a video that I actually just had to scrap. I had this idea that, like, GW is just, like, drip-feeding us too much non-content for, like, the other God Legions. Because my understanding of the God Legions is Death Guard. That's where I kind of really got really into 40k. But I ended up like picking up Death Guard, and Death Guard just kept getting new releases. They got 2 units of Terminators, a bunch of tanks, bunch of demon engines, and infantry, and so on and so forth. But then I was like, wow, looking at the World Eaters, that's kind of shitty. Why are they only getting like 5 guys? But yeah, so I'm like, okay, I gotta make a video. Maybe they are just drip feeding content for all of us, but I did my research. Upon release, Thousand Sons, Emperor's Children, and the World Eaters all had relatively the same amount of units that were just given during their range refresh, which is between, like, I think 6 and 8. But for some reason, the Death Guard got like 16 new units just off rip. I just feel like there's a bias there. I wanted to make a video on it. I scripted it and I was doing research. I was using the fucking Wayback Machine to kind of see if there is, like what the release was in like 2016, 2017 for the Thousand Sons, to see if they were given a high amount of guys before the Death Guard. But nah, it just turns out that it's just weird. Still waiting on a World Eater second wave. Oh, baby girl, I'm so sorry. That's not going to happen. They're just going to drip feed you guys stuff. But I will state, if I can complain about anything, it's the fact that none of the other legions are getting vehicles for some reason. I get a Death Guard with the guys that do, like, siege and shit. But, like, World Eaters can have, like, some pretty cool ideas for tanks, like just berserk motorcycles or bikers or some shit. They don't need jump pack units. They could have, like, berserk bikers. Same with, like... the Emperor's Children. Emperor's Children, even if they don't get Raptors, because Raptors are technically a Night Lord's thing. What if, like, Emperor's Children got that one guy? What the Hell Rider? That guy. What was his name? I think it was Doom Rider or some shit. Rider. Yeah, it was Doom Rider. Yeah, he was an Emperor's Children biker that lit his head on fire. Dude was straight out of Twisted Metal. Why couldn't we get him? Like, why couldn't we get a biker unit? Just a fast-moving unit. I know that the Emperor's Children are all pretty fast, but, like, let me... But, like, Doom Rider would be... Yeah, Doom Rider would have been cool. Or at least have, like, a bunch of units called Doom Rider. I know Doom Rider turned into, oh, what's he called? Okay... Just I'm trying to, the window should be up right now. I don't know why it's not doing this. Properties, fandom, there we go. Like, look at this. Why couldn't we have this? This is a genuine guy. Like, he's like old Emperor's Children lore. Oh, you're not allowed to see what I'm researching because I'm doing shit. But like Doom Rider is like an old head guy, and it's just to kind of show you, because he was obviously inspired by like, what are they called? The Twisted Metal, like that kind of shit, because he's just basically like Sweet Tooth and shit. But like we could have had a model like that. That would have been cool as fuck. They have almost no fast attack units, and like even the ones they do have are not that great. It's just weird. There's a lot of stuff that you'd think they'd have. Like, they do have, like, the basics. But, I don't know. It's just very, very weird. Also, the fact that, like, Chaos Marines have not had an update to, like, attack bikes in a goddamn long time is crazy to me. Just, like, bike units in general have not gotten anything in God knows how long. No, he's literally Ghost Rider LMAO. They didn't even change the name. You got a point. He is Ghost Rider in a way, but it has more in common with like, Sweet Tooth, because it's just a dude that lit his head on fire. The World Eaters should have them. Yeah, bikers. No one talks about them anymore because it's like, they're not chaosy enough. I'm like, nah, that's chaosy as all hell. Riding a giant hog into battle with like chain swords and shit. That's awesome. What else we got? I like them funny bikes. I want new bikes. Black Legion painted pink with demon soup and some noise marines is literally better at being Emperor's Children. That was something that did piss me off, because I've always been like a casual collector of like certain miniatures. I don't play as much with 40k. I play a lot of other games instead, but I how do I put this? I collect just so I can paint, and then sometimes play at some point. So I had a bunch of Chaos Marines that I was doing as like kind of an Emperor's Children, kind of a knot thing. I was painting them as the Flawless Host. I love the Flawless Host, and when there was going to be an Emperor's Children update, I was going to just fold them in. And I got like the Chaos Marines from the Eldritch Omens box, which has a Warp Smith. It has a Mauler Fiend / Forge Fiend. Has a bunch of normal Chaos Marines. I got a bunch of shit like that. And then I found out that most of that got invalidated because of the Emperor's Children. I'm just like, man, that sucks. But I get it. I get it, because, like, Death Guard, they can't take some of those, too. But it's still like if I was building, like, a Death Guard Legion and that happened. I get it. They're like, you're trying to stay on theme. But I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It made me sad. Some AdMac GW, give me my crappy, annoying to paint minis. Pope Tato, you have no idea how fucking on point you are. I'm almost considering getting rid of... Yeah, actually, Crackduck, you got a point. Getting rid of the updating the demonettes would probably be important, but regardless, yeah, I've been painting and building Mechanicum for the Horus Heresy, and I will state, there have been so many times where my roommate has had to actually talk me off a ledge from throwing them against a wall when I built them, because they are just the worst miniatures I've ever had to build or paint. Fucking ever. I got them because they're very beautiful aesthetically, and I play Iron Warriors in Horus Heresy. So, you know, having some androids, or not androids, but having some automata, that works. That could work together, because a lot of them have Cortex controllers, especially the Warsmith. But, man, it's kind of not fucking worth it. We've got a few things. Finally, we got Pope Super Kami. Finally bought some minis because of you. Only took 6 years to break. Love the videos, keep it up, but I must leave back to work. Praise Snagwinius. Thank God for that. Inquisitor Media with the 5 magic dollars. Speaking of squatted units, I hope the Kill Team box has a Necron Pariah team. A neat piece of lore that's got memory hold for seemingly no reason. Yeah? Speak, brother. This is from Organoth. I miss the lack of raptors, chariots, and overall reduced range for all the god-focused legions. I was actually... Okay, so I was doing research into demons, because I'm doing, like, a demon video right now. I'm not going to talk about what. But I found out that they just stealthily removed a few things from 40k that I just did not notice. Chariots, yeah, we mentioned that earlier, but they got rid of the Spoilpox Scrivener. He's no longer in 40k, what the fuck? I want my big mouth nose dude. I like the dude who sneezes and you explode. That's awesome. I had, like, one of those guys back when I played demons back in the day. But yeah, it sucks. Blow my nose really quickly. Red Butchers are also a big thing. Yeah, it's kind of weird that only Death Guard got new Terminators when they got refreshed. I mean, actually, no, that's a lie. Thousand Suns got the Sekhmet Terminators, and they're pretty good. Or, I guess that's what... I think that's the Horus Heresy, but you know what I mean. The World Eaters had Terminators, and so did the Emperor's Children, but they didn't get a unique unit for it. They just got regular generic Terminators, which I thought was kind of lame. Like, very lame, actually. I kind of hope they, like, add a Terminator unit at some point. Let me see what's on the docket for today. Let's see what the Warhammer community is saying. And then we'll start making predictions. We'll start putting slots in. And see what we're doing. Oh, God. Where's the announcement table? What are you? I didn't see the most recent rumor engine. That's corn as fuck. July the 15th. Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, God. For the Horus Heresy. Am I losing my mind? Where the fuck is this? No, that's just for Horus Heresy. I'm looking for news, and then we'll start figuring shit out, right? There we go. Okay, big summer preview. So it looks like we're getting Warhammer 40k, AOS, Horus Heresy, the Old World Kill Team, Underworld, and Legions Imperialis. What? That's kind of like all of them, except for, like, Warcry, but who cares about Warcry, right? So, 40k. My prediction is they haven't done this in a while. So this is kind of my theory. They haven't done this in a while. Chat, put what do you think they're releasing for 40k? But they haven't done a single, like, versus box outside of, like, an edition box for a very long time. So I think they're gonna have, like, a faction versus faction box, because they haven't done one in a while. I don't know what one. I'm hoping it's like Leagues of Votann versus something, but we could only be so lucky. I think that's pretty cool. Warcry has died. I heard that there was some shit with that. Like, a lot of shit got I heard... I heard that they did something. Like, in the most recent edition, they basically invalidated a bunch of the warbands you can play, which is always fun to find out. But 40k, they haven't done a versus box. And yeah, Votann versus Dark Mechanicum. I so hope it's not Votann versus Dark Mechanicum. I actually want to get this box. But Dark Mechanicum is one of those factions that, like, if they open up with that, they're going to actually... Like, it's going to sell out instantly. Scalpers will actually, like, claim that box before I can get it. 40k Insane Copium prediction is Steel Legion, and they're going to build up to Grey Knights refresh, and then Lehman Russ all for Armageddon. That is, you know, if you aim for the moon, if you aim to shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll end up amongst the stars, I guess. Votann versus Night Lords would be funny. If that happens, I'm in. We're in. It's going to be the greatest box of all time. But I do think that we're due for that, because we haven't had one in a while. I don't even remember what the last one was outside of, like, the Leviathan box. Does anybody even remember that? Because, like, the one that comes to mind is that one that had the Brain Boy, the Gene Stealer Cult's Brain Boy versus the Custodian. I don't even remember how long ago that was, and I feel like there was at least one that happened after that, but I can't remember anything. I know there was that, there was Eldritch Omens, which I liked. Okay. We're in. I want to build a small Chaos Demonette army. 3-foot tall Purdy. That'd be kind of funny. But no, that's kind of my call. I do want them to announce, like, a Leagues of Votann thing, because there's whatever. But they're obviously just going to announce the next codexes. And maybe preview, like, a League of Votann foot. That's it. Like, they're just going to show, oh, here's the codex and the one model we're releasing for each new codex for till the end of, like, 10th edition. And here's an arm or something to show you what it is. AOS. I don't know what they're going to be doing for AOS. I have a feeling they're going to do a range refresh for something, because there are still a bunch of factions that need new stuff. And since there is a bunch of like factions that are still using the old world models, there's like a bunch of stuff that they could definitely fix. Like, if you guys look it up, I'm still pretty sure they're using the old Eshin models for the Skaven. The little ninja rats? Yeah. They're using the old ninja rats, they're using the old plague rats. They do need to refresh those, because, like, the Skaven are currently, like, the #1 threat in the setting. And I love it, but I'm also sad because I'm not the biggest fan of 4th edition. I loved 3rd edition, but 4th edition isn't terrible. It's just a little worse than, like, the edition prior. Let me check really quickly. Yeah, no, the old Plague Monks, those are still old. Those old Night Runners, the old Eshin Rats, they're pretty old. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of old models that do need refreshing to some degree. I would say, like, stuff like the Goblins, like the Gloomspite Gits, those guys, those don't need refreshing. Those Goblins are almost, like, evergreen level shits, but I do think that there's that. I don't know what they would do. It'd be funny if they just announced a full-on new faction, because there's, like, a bunch of shit that they've been kind of teasing. They also recently just showed off a new Khorne model. You know what? I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Let me... Boop. Okay, cool. Because I'm just looking at, like, the range right here, and, like, we're just looking at, like, old Skaven models. Because, like, the old Plague Monks are... They're cute, but they're a little old. They're a little too old. Like, those swords are very, very thick. I love them. I love the sculpts, but if we're playing modern day 40k, they're like, or modern 40k, more modern AOS, they're kind of outdated. The Eshin models are a little worse because I think they're even older. I would love new ones. Notice me, Arthur, please. Big Beef, I noticed you. Chill. Yeah, because I'm like, I do quite like these guys, but they're definitely really, really old. Actually, okay, oh yeah, I got sidetracked for a second there, which is pretty easy. But that new Khorne model is the most... I kind of love it for the audacity of it, because it is literally like the most nothing model I've ever seen. Let me see if it's here. He's just a guy. Like the most generic model I've ever seen. Is it not here? Or is it not available yet? Would it be in pre-orders? I think. Adonis Deepkin. No. New releases maybe. Sometimes they just don't sort them in. No? Okay. Let's go back over here. Menu. Okay, that just takes me to the shop, you bastards. Warhammer community. Let me see if I can find him. There he is. It's literally the most, like, what is it? Oh, can I get a better picture of this? Look at this new model. This is, in fact, a new model. I kind of love the balls on them to release something like this, because it's just a dude. I love it. I love the simplicity of this model. It's just a really jacked dude with an axe and shield. And sometimes that's all we need. I really like the horns and design of it. I think it looks really cool. But my god, is it just such a weirdly... It's so reserved for for AOS. Like, AOS is usually pretty bombastic and shit. Yeah, there it is. This is the new model, the Deathbringer. It's so weird, because it's so reserved for, like, AOS. Look at that. It's just some guy. Like... I don't know, maybe I'm not making sense. Do you think we'll get Chaos Dwarves and Dark Elves? So, let me put my tinfoil hat on. I don't have the Valrac set up, but I think yes, but I think we're also going to be getting a Season 2 of releases for the Old World. Yeah, it's very reserved for Khorne. Like, to give you an example, let's, like, go to other Khorne characters. They're all crazy, whacked-out dudes that are just wearing giant bones. He looks way better than the incest Khorne guys. What are you talking about? When does the stream start? Actually, it's a good check. We got 24 minutes, baby. Muppets. My biggest copium for Horus Heresy would be Nullifactors officially down the line and give them unique minis. I don't even think that's gonna be possible, big dog. Blades of Khorne, like, fucking look at this dude. This is that's a priest. That's a wizard of Khorne. You got Karnak, you got the Bloodthirsters, you got this dude who looks slack-jawed as all hell and look like he's dying. Got Scarbrand, you got the standard guy. This guy is swinging a burning anvil on a chain. That's a little wild. Like, all the Khorne characters are just bananas, and there's, like, no real reserved ones that are just, like, guy with weapon. Like, he doesn't even have a tactical rock. He's just standing on his base. I kind of like him. But yeah, there's, like a bunch of weird guys. Like, even Korgoth Cool, like, that guy, he's crazy with, like, the fact that he's a pet fleshhound on his base. It's wild. I'm a big fan of that. But, yeah, that's kind of my prediction. I think they're going to be refreshing one of the legions. Or not one of the legions, but one of the groups and shit. Khorne has wizards? Yeah, they're wizards, but they're not wizards. They're priests. They have a blood priest that casts magical Khorne not spells. Khorne, just say it's magic, dude. Just say it's magic. Like, Judgments of Khorne. These are invocations. These are limitless spells that you can summon in AOS. It's a really cool mechanic. I fucking love this mechanic. Like, the ever-bleeding axe. Like, you just summon an axe to rend through reality. And, oh, that's not magic. That's him praying to Khorne and Khorne sending a boon to you. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's literally just magic under a different name. You're just being lame and trying to be specific and pedantic about this shit. I cast Blood and Fist. Yeah, literally. Bloody hell. So let's get back to it. Let's get back to the copium. Warhammer the Horus Heresy. I think we can all lock in and see what they're going to be announcing, because if they're announcing new stuff for the Horus Heresy, it's obviously going to be like the Cataphractii Terminators to show off that they're real, because we got the leaks. I'm hoping also Mark IV Marines, but I'm also hoping Mark IV Assault Marines. Because I I got my boys. I got Mark II Assault Marines. I'm so fucking happy about those. And I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, the old world, Kislev. Guys, say it. If you want Cossacks, type in chat Kislev. It would be dope as shit. I will drop thousands of dollars. I will drop so much money just for a bunch of boyars, because I love Kislev. I love that they're all hybrid units. I love that they all have no armor and they ride bears. Type Kislev in chat if you want Kislev. Type nothing if you're stupid and don't like fun. Kislev is awesome. Bears? Are you kidding me? Fucking bears. I just want a unit that is not even like a bear cavalry unit. I just want a unit of bears. Just big bears that I could paint however I want. Ugh. I just want Kislev so bad. But so Vampire Coast would be pretty cool. But I will state, I have this, like, my copium is going to be that Old World is getting a season 2. So right now, let me just, like, the page. So Old World kind of goes with the way that the Horse Heresy went, where rule books, army books. There are 2 books. There is the Forces of Fantasy book. Okay, you're seeing more books, but we'll get into those. So there's Forces of Forces of Fantasy, which is all the good guy units for every single faction, and then there's these Ravening Hordes. Then you have wrong. We're getting a lieutenant with jump pack. I'd be fine with it. Like, I'd play it. I get it. Leagues of Votann get nerfed or something, because you said in your 10th edition video that you'd riot if that happened. No, it's just been a while and I want Leagues of Votann. So alongside these books, you get the Arcane Journals, which are not even necessary to play the faction. It's not like a codex or a supplement. It just gives you bonus rules to play them that allow you to play older units and also allow you to play different unit compositions. It's very fun. I have this, like, paranoid theory that I think they're going to actually release, like, Forces of Fantasy 2 and Ravening Hordes 2. And in Forces of Fantasy, it's going to be, like, Cathay, Kislev, the elf factions that they didn't put in, oh god. Just, like a bunch of stuff that they neglected, and, like, Ravening Hordes 2 would be, like, Chaos Dwarves, Dark Elves, just a bunch of shit like that. I feel like that's my copium. That's me. I feel like they do that. A friend of mine mentioned that was a possibility at some point, and I'm like, this is actually a really fun idea. I do like it. But, yeah. What do you guys think? What do you want for Old World? Because, like, they did well with the Cathay models. I think they're out now, too, because I see the Cathay Arcane Journal. Oh god, I'm dyslexic, so, like, it's hard for me to parse tight words like that. Yeah, no, their models are all, like, actually really good. Oh, and they got the Sky Lantern. Cathay and Sentinel. Oh, Lord on Great Spirit Longma. Oh, I love this model so much. It's so good. Wouldn't paint it to save my life, because, like, I don't like bright colors like that, but, like, I adore it, right? Sky Junks. Oh, love them. Sniper Rifle Crew. I'll deal with it. Hell yeah. Cathay and Sentinel. Oh, the Terracotta Sentinel. I'm so goddamn in on that. I'd paint this sucker Jade, and you know it would be. Dogs of War 2.0. I want demons in Old World just so that they can release the old sculpts. Never going to happen? Yeah. Okay, it's getting kind of hot in my room. I'm gonna go turn on my my air conditioning. 1 sec. But yeah, write in chat what you think that the prediction for the Old World's going to be. But I'm saying Kislev. At least they're gonna preview Kislev. A long shot would be fucking Skaven, like they're putting that over. Okay. Oh, Linky. For Old World, be able to play Archaon. Unfortunately, he's not coming. Archaon, where the timeline is taking place right now, he's not even alive. Like, he's not even a real guy yet. So it would be someone else. It would probably be like Asavar Kull, maybe, but he was kind of the thing for the Storm of Chaos, which is a long ass time ago. Them announcing Cathay and AOS today would be hysterical. There's no way. Cathay just doesn't exist, and Cathay is its own country. So they'd have to be like, oh, this is like free guilds or some shit. Also, I just noticed that they don't have all of the units for Cathay. They only have like most of them. They don't even have the Dragon Empress yet. Urganath, do you think we will get new Old World novels? I think we already have. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure we got a new one for Cetra, but yeah. And Kill Team, they already showed off that Kill Team that has, oh god, what is it? It was the Raveners versus the Tech Priests and the Servitors. But I feel like we're due for another one because it's been a bit. I think the last reveal was at Milwaukee, like Adepticon, which that was a little while ago. A couple months. Hey, Big Beef! Stop spamming Iron Lords in the chat, please. I appreciate the enthusiasm, my dude. But chill it out a little. Or I'm gonna have to mute you. Etc. is still mostly resin. Okay. But, yeah. Hell Team, Legion of the Damned would actually go hard. Yeah, actually, I could see, comically enough, I think that some factions should not be in Kill Team, and I think that some factions should be. With Leagues of Votann, I think that them getting 2 Kill Teams was... It was kind of a slap in the face, I will admit. I wish that we got more than just that, right? But I think... But I think, like, Legion of the Damned as a kill team would make sense, because they're usually in small groups of individuals that show up just randomly to accomplish a random task, right? It's pretty cool. Would also not make any sense. I don't know. Vampire Coast would be cool. It would make sense. I think that it does make sense, because they do just show up randomly. See, Taco Bell Demons. I just won Lost in the Damned models. Okay, now we're talking long shots. Legions Imperialis is the most who cares, but I care game that I have. Like, I do my little... I do my little heart. I point my little heart at Legions Imperialis. I absolutely adore them. They're pretty great. Emperor knows how long. Yeah, I would have reacted to the stuff at oh god, what are they called? Adepticon, but I was there. I was there with like a few friends. We were just like chilling and like seeing the shit live, so I couldn't react to it. New Huron Blackheart would kind of go hard, actually. What are we doing? Oh, we can't have this. So, fun fact, everybody, the stream is officially live. But I do have to mute the stream most of the time. I swear, GW, this reveal, we're announcing we are removing Leagues of Votann. Hi, Colin. Being legit, I want more resin monsters to come back. I miss the golden age Forge World. Some of them are good, some of them are not that great. But, yeah, let me just go kind of theater mode here. So, I have streamed live streams before with friends, and I have not gotten copyright struck or like copyright claimed as fast as I do when I stream the weird branded GW music that they usually do. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I will stream this, and then midway through the stream, I'll notice that I've already been, like, had my revenue claimed from the stream because GW's music is all written further, like, in-house. Like, they have their own in-house band, which, cool, good for them. I'm not one of those YouTubers who complains about copyright and, like, maintaining your brand. I do think that it is a bit stricter than it has to be, especially for people who do preview this. But, man, I gotta be really on point. So I'm going to be playing my own music pretty much this entire time, hopefully. But, yeah, also, I see you, Pancreas Noark. I don't know if you want to... I don't know if you're going to be reacting to this kind of shit, but, yeah. JW has a lawyer kill team 24/7. Hey, they're allowed to defend their copyright however they want. I'm just a literal parasite who's just somehow able to make jokes about space marines with tiny dicks. I dink my utter. But yeah, Legions Imperialis, it'd be cool if they added something. I know they finally did Dark Mechanicum, which is neat, but I got messages from people. Let me just check my dick sword real quickly. Okay, let's... I don't know what to expect through. I hope there's something. I'm expecting nothing. But I want something. We're getting there. Hey, we got Night Lord Shadow. Thank you, Shadow. 9.99. Thank you very, very much. Don't put yourself down. You're a tiny parasite. But with a lovely voice, sometimes you're funny, though. Hell yeah. Ew, Callie. Like, okay. Chaos Dwarf silhouette. In a Warcom. Leagues of Votann versus Chaos Leagues of Votann, though. Noise Marine Dreadnought would be pretty cool, but they just released the codex. They wouldn't invalidate it so quickly, right? Harlequin's kill team? $1.99. Flay Shadow. Thank you, Linky. Harlequins already have a kill team? I don't think they do, actually. I know GW hasn't touched the Harlequins in a very long time. I know Leagues of Votann are coming up soon, so hopefully... I just want to preview. They don't have to announce when they're going to be putting it up. I just want to be like, we're working on something. And not just be like, here's a codex, that's it. No, I think that's Florida. Want something Imperial Fist. Slick Sick. Hey, Arthur. Not sure if you ever came... Sorry. If it ever came up in your other videos. But do you have a Warhammer Fantasy army? I see you as a Lizardman player. Mostly Croxagors. No, actually. I'm currently playing Dwarves. There's actually a funny thing. I hope Colin's still in the chat. Because... suck my dick from the back, but... me and him kind of have been rocking an escalation league for the old world, where every game we play, whenever we meet up at like a convention, we play a game, and we basically, I think we started with like 1,000 points, and every time we play a game, we go up by 250, or we started with 1,250 and went up, and I know that we were at like 1,500 last time we played, and I have won both of our games, and that's my thing, my little caveat, and I'm going to continue to win, because Dwarf Gunline is just too goddamn strong. I'm going to cannon blast your ass into the next reality. Harlequins used to have a white dwarf kill team made of players, a Death Jester, and Shadow Seer, but they weren't new models. What factions are you two building? Every time I go up against Colin, he's playing, so far, oh god, the name. Skeleton, Egypt, Skeleton. Tomb Kings. He's playing Tomb Kings, and I'm playing Dwarves. if, what do you call them? Kislev comes out. I'm getting Kislev, though, unfortunately. I think that, like, Imperial Fists are on the schedule. They might get something. Yeah, you know what? I'd be happy with Imperial Fist getting something. Like, if Greg gets a model, yeah! I'll fuck with Greg. Yeah, let's get Greg a model. Gregor Dessian? Yeah! $5.99. I'll break your gun line with my Chaos Knights. Yeah, okay, we'll see how that goes. I've gone against Chaos Knights before. It's really not that hard. Fight me. Also, Flay Shadow. Thank you for the $5, Slinky. Hard pivot to Kislev? No, I'll do both. They're both mostly bald, bearded men. Just one is slightly shorter than the other. It's just like me, for real. Also, shout out to one of the meanest but funniest things that's ever happened. Anybody has ever said to me, like, whenever me and, like, the boy squad go to, like, a 40k convention, or, like, a Warhammer convention, we meet up. But the first time we were going to meet up, we didn't know what everybody here looked like, so I just sent them a picture of me, and I look exactly like how you'd expect if you look at the Arthur Bones icon. I'm shaved head, beard, glasses, and I usually wear like a beanie or a toque if you're in Canada. Balls, $9.99. More Cult Legions videos, such as Emperor's Children. If not the Orcs, please. Oh yeah, we're working on something right now. We're working on some demon shit soon, so yeah. But I just remember sending them like a picture of me because I was in the hall at LVO, and I was just like, hey guys, this is what I look like. If you see me, find me. And they had such trouble finding me because bald beard and glasses is apparently a very common phenotype in 40k. And I think it was Mishmash that sent me a photo, and the photo was of like the scene from like Toy Story with all the Buzz Lightyears in the packaging, just all row by row to indicate that everybody looked like me, and it was almost impossible to find me. It was really funny. $2 from Callum. I want more NIDs. 10th wasn't enough. I always want more models. I want more models across the board, and I wish they would release them. Nah, maybe I'm just that kind of guy, but I don't know. I'm impatient a lot of times. Miss says a lot of sick and twisted evil things all of the time. I had to read that in the way that you say it. Big worm for Votann. Yeah, no, I'm down for big worm. Yeah, my mouth is super dry this morning for some reason. Let me get my soda. Okay, we got 5 minutes, boys. Last minute predictions. What do you guys got? Give me more Ultramarines. Well, I mean, if you get more Ultramarines, everybody else gets something too, so I guess that is what it is, right? Oh, if there's a land train, you're gonna, like, my neighbors are gonna hear me. It's pretty crazy. I want the land train. The land fortress is cool, but the land train is cooler. Dwarves on moles because they dig holes? Fucking bars. Let me close my door really quickly. Yeah, of rune golems and dwarves. Yeah, I, back when I was going through, like, a very hard Total Warhammer phase, I was very big into, like, the mods for dwarves, because dwarf mods were always so fucking fun. And I quite enjoyed the rune golem models. I do want, like, mining exosuits, though, because we have them for squats in Necromunda, and I really, really wanted that, right? Votann land train would make me actually like the faction. Well, it's a train! It appeals to several branches of our faction. Yeah, the new Cataphractia reveal is kind of goes without saying. I just hope it looks cool. What's your bet on Primarchs? Mine is Dorn. Yeah, no, so Waddy, it's Dorn. It's gonna be Dorn. Dorn's gonna have the Emperor's Claw thing, and it's gonna be cool. Dorn is one of those models that, like, I know is gonna happen. It's only a matter of time. If it's not Dorn, it's probably going to be Lehman. But because the codex for the Space Wolves has already come out, it's probably not going to be it's probably not gonna be them. Actually, now that I think about it, they're announcing Emperor's Imperial Fist, so there might be something today. There might be something, now that I think about it. Callum again with $2, or 2 magic bucks. Did you read the Votann book? Yes, I did. I enjoyed it quite a lot, actually. Fulgrim, it's 100% gonna be Dorn. Yeah, probably. I haven't read Fulgrim. It's on the list. I got the codex, and I've been meaning to read all of the like new stuff. I need Lord or Corvus to show up, but I feel like if fucking Dorn shows up, it's like pack it in chaos. You got the greatest duelist, the greatest like supply line guy, and the most staunch defensive strategist. You have the 3 best Primarchs to take over the Imperium to show up. All 3 of them together make one Emperor. All you need is one psychic dude, and you're perfect. They don't need the psychic guy, but yeah. Ooh, a new Pedro Cantor would be cool as shit, actually. Yeah. We should fuse Arthur and Northern Lion. I don't watch Northern Lion, but I love the clips. I see them all the time. Give me a new Tybros. They're not doing a new Tybros. I'm sorry, big dog. If Dorn comes back, that gives Perturabo a reason to come back. Yeah, no, you're gonna point. What? Dorn comes back, Perturabo somewhere in Carlin Gol, or like on Medrengard is just like sitting and he smells the air and goes, something is not right. Well, if he's back, I can't let that motherfucker show me up. Alright, okay. I'm sorry. The White Scars are just not popular enough to get the Khan back. Like, if they got the Khan, it's going to be the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen. I'm just saying. Would they do Peter Turbo first? Khan on a dinosaur? I fuck with it. I fuck it. A Carnosaur. Like, just straight up from AOS. Not even changing the sculpt. It's just the same model, but with a Primarch on top. I like that. Bring back Lorgar? Nah. If they're gonna... maybe. If they bring back a Chaos Undefined Primarch. I don't know which one it would be. I kind of want Perturabo because he's a fan favorite. But they would have to do Lorgar, because yeah. Oh, Boris Ragnar. I'm high on Cope. Give me Daddy Vulcan or his stand. Oh, we're starting, boys. What? What? Shirt! What? That's a Leagues of Votann shirt. I have that tattoo on my arm. Oh!
An opportunity later on in the show to ask Eddie and Adam those questions.
Perfect. Thanks, Simon.
Sorry, audio
we're
issue.
We're going to be taking some breaks throughout the sort of proceedings to try and field a few of those questions. We have a lot of content to cover off. We think we're going to be here for a bit.
I muted the wrong thing. I meant to mute the audio. Sorry.
Bear with us, and we'll do.
Thank you for the $2, Linky. I'm bad at streaming.
Flooding in from around the world. So the first thing I'd like to do is throw a question out there, maybe get you involved, which is let us know where in the world you're from. I do it every time, and I always enjoy the answer. And while you start punching in your coordinates, not too specific, I've got a question for you, Eddie. Done any hobby lately?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Adam. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Horus Heresy hobby.
Very nice. You said you were going to.
I did, and I did. So I've got some white scars on my table at the moment, got them all sprayed up, and I've started painting a jet bike, but using some of the Horus Heresy transfers on the side, so it looks very nice.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to getting some of those done. I've also got some Space Wolves. I bought the new Space Wolf box like a lot of people.
Oh,
Very
you?
excited by the new Space Wolf army as well.
It's very, even as a Dark Angels fan, that is
it's a lovely
extremely
box.
tempting.
I think that has brought a lot of people to Fenris. That particular box.
I'm
How about
so
yourself? Have you been
excited.
doing
Well,
cool
I'm
Warhammer?
glad you asked. The short answer is yes. I bought myself some new.
Maybe he's just wearing a Votann shirt. That'd be
yesterday,
kind of cool.
and I'm going to have a crack at that. I've not really painted Kill Team stuff. I've always used things from my main army. The other thing, it's only went to the Throne of Skulls with my good friend Damien O'Byrne.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
we brought home
Like
a
that.
gold medal, which was super fun to play so many games with.
I kind of want to get into like the.
Huge shout out! I met
Does anybody
a
actually care?
who'd flown all the way across
I kind of want to get
the
into
West.
like the Lord of the Rings
Now
game because I heard it's really fun.
fighting around,
There's a
the
set at my
mountains.
store for
What
the
unexpected, Jim?
War of Rohirrim, I think, and I like it.
So I hope
Or
you
Battle of
enjoy it,
Rohirrim.
wherever you are.
One of those two.
It was really fun. Thank you to all my.
He's
opponents
escaped
who
the
played,
milking
and I
room.
wasn't
Oh,
such a
no.
horrible person to play against. Always nice. So, Sai, where are people from?
Oh, all over the place. It's wonderful. So we've got folks from Australia, Canada, USA, Spain, pretty much all over the globe. Someone's claiming they're even from Caliban. I'm not sure the truth of that one.
Only the very.
Oh, I
best
almost
among
threw
you
up.
could
I'm
possibly
so
come
excited.
from
Every time I
such
see that shirt, I'm like,
festival
maybe.
Awesome. Right. So
I can't
as
get my
said
hopes
before,
up.
We've got about 90 minutes worth of like wall to wall.
Oh
Warhammer
fuck,
content
we're gonna
in
be
this
here
big
for a
summer
while.
Warhammer
I had
preview.
shit I need to do today, but that's
We should
okay.
Probably look to begin.
Yeah, let's get stuck in, shall we?
Right. So, Raph, punch the first video.
So just before we go in, the new guy, he's a little bit peculiar.
I gotta
but
get
just
quick on the
bear
draw to
with
mute
it.
this shit.
Cool.
Wait. No. Ah! Yeah! 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 No! It's happening! Oh my god! Ah! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm dying, boys! I'm dying! I can't see! I'm going blind, boys!
And the army, there's some new vehicles.
Oh
all
my
sorts of
God.
stuff. So,
I can't breathe. This is too much. This is everything that I wanted.
Of the specific models, specific units being added to the force. We'll start
need to
with,
breathe.
The Arcanist Evaluator.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
Deep
in
breaths.
the Leagues of Votann,
Deep
they're not
breaths.
afraid of developing technology and expanding their understanding, and so an Arcanist Evaluator is kind of aside from the ordinary.
Holy
opinions
fuck.
or
We're
war
so back,
right?
boys. We're
He's a
so
man
fucking back,
scientist
boys.
responsible for new technologies, and he brings to battle an experimental weapon in the sort of closing phases of development. This is a transmatter inverter.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's got 4 fire
Kind
modes,
of regret putting my
and
TV
a
on
wide
max
one,
volume. I'm so sorry.
lethal
I had
combat
literally a button on my
transformations. What
thing that
means
just said
is
play this song if
So
new
he's
Votann
taking
was
out his
revealed.
New experimental weapon, basically, to the battlefield to see if it is, as he suspects.
Ah,
powerful
this
enough
looks
to
so
knock out
good.
Marines, tanks,
Okay,
artillery,
okay,
monsters,
okay.
everything happens to
I'm
come up.
appeased.
pretty much yes to the
Pretty
above.
much yes to all of the above. He's
$2,
not part of the
rock
official
and
sort of
stone, I'll let
Leagues
that
of
one
Votann
fly.
Military hierarchy, so he doesn't join your units necessarily, but he kind of hangs around in your army next to them,
Yeah.
and he's got kind of lone operative ability if he's near your infantry, that sort of thing. But a very useful, characterful little model to add into your.
Dude, I really
And a
like the
nice
look of
way
that.
Kind of showing the. Some of the kind of lore and culture of the army as well, of the Leagues of Votann.
Yeah, it's a little
I
bit
like
of a
the
glimpse behind
mechanical head
sort of
more.
curtain, isn't it? And you can see some really cool things.
Hey Hachi dwarf, yeah. I actually might steal that head and make like a combat dwarf from the kill team that gives you the punchy fists. I love
Very
that
cool head
guy.
as well, kind of mad scientist vibe going on.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, there's a separate.
Ignoring your 20? Oh,
a
sorry, I
different
just
head,
missed that.
that you can have, which is helmeted, or if you just fancy some health and safety.
They have
precautions, then
mole
that's the
motors.
way to go.
Hell yeah, $20.
Next up,
Much appreciated.
My absolute standout favourite. This is the thing that made me march into Warhammer World yesterday and buy some Leagues of Votann models.
Hank the
myself.
Tank with the 10
Memnir
gifted
Strategist.
subs. Hell yeah, thank
He is
you.
an Iron
This looks
King. Those of you who are
awesome.
Fans of the League of Votann will
Oh, he's
understand
got
that
4
Iron King
arms. That's
are
dope as shit.
essentially-
Abominable intelligences.
Well, not in their mind, but they're artificial intelligences.
A Memnir
which,
strategist.
they hold
That's
equal
really
position
cool.
within
I
Votann
really like the
society.
design
There's
of
a
this guy.
CU unit inside of each of them. and that's sort of within that iron dome that is normally his head. The first really cool thing about this model is that you see the little noodly things that are on, in the Imperium you call them mechadendrites, right? These are
really cool.
Each of those is an additional CU unit, so he is the combined intelligence of multiple Ironkin, essentially, and he uses that to...
Oh, he's a hive mind. Those are multiple Ironkin. That's awesome.
Around him. It keys into a rule as well, which is known as yield points, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And most importantly, he looks amazing.
It's a very, very cool miniature.
Silence
really
followed by barking. Fun to hear driving.
Yeah. Which is holding on
Sorry.
Holding onto his little data pad.
I got excited. New Votann. It's been a minute.
Kin and Leagues of Votann units across the battlefield. And his main pair of arms he's used to sort of hold in his contemplative states, which is the exact pose that I have when I'm considering my movement phase in Warhammer 40,000.
And if you want to dazzle your friends with some knowledge, the array he's got on his back is called a cognitar mantle, and that's where he gets like his extra brain power from. Really,
this is so interesting.
Speaking of Ironkin, these are a new unit.
Ironkin Steeljacks. That's awesome.
In one name. Eddie, what's the story?
Yeah, so this is the Ironkin Steeljacks. They are a specialist more warrior type of Ironkin. A lot of the Ironkin are fairly
summoning
sort of,
my evil personalities
from
different friend groups.
Yeah, default state is a sort of friendly, affable.
These are
helpers for the
literally they're just like, let's make robot space marines. That'd be kind of cool.
So
I like that. The pose on these guys is very interesting.
They are in very large
That's a Volkite
suits of armor,
gun.
so
Okay.
they stand kind of almost twice the height of a Kin or a League of Votann warrior, and they have got some pretty decent weaponry.
Here,
as well.
for your new Votann purchases, thank you. I like the look of them. They look weird in like a good way. They look unnatural in a good way.
You can go with a ranged option. In game terms, they work a little bit like Wraithguard, I suppose, is the closest approximate. So very durable unit, quite powerful weaponry, very good for doing things like moving on to an objective and trying to hold on to it and fighting off enemy counterattacks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, in real terms, heavily armed, heavily armoured, extremely dangerous unit. You can see the leader in the squad as you looked at these pictures by the Primarch crest, which sort of rises above his head. There we are in the background. He's got a plasma sword.
Iron Hand bits. Yeah, no, you got a point there.
Great new addition to the...
they do kind of look like Ninja Turtle villains, yeah.
We're not done.
Just a friendly reminder to change your shorts. Don't tell me what to do. Chthonian Earthshakers. I fuck with these.
Do you remember mole mortars for squat
Very
armies?
well, yes.
So these are sort of inverse artillery in that rather than lobbing a shot high above the enemy, they fire those mole shells.
Oh, that's awesome. They fire it directly into the ground.
They burrow in on the enemy and emerge in a trench line, in a bunker.
That's kind of cool.
Blow everyone to Kingdom Come.
Each one of these is a really lovely sort of diorama in their own right as well. So you can see the Kin there working with the Iron Kin, loading up the artillery. You can see one of them there with his
proper artillery.
Almost directing the mole as it kind of buries underground towards the enemy fortifications. Obviously, it's a powerful piece in game. You've got all sorts of nice.
I guess I got to start painting Leagues of Votann again.
Force, which at the moment maybe doesn't have a huge amount of very long range artillery. And yeah, I think it's a great kit, really.
Also,
yeah, reverse artillery. It's really cool.
That are inside this launch, we have the Capricus. So the Capricus is one of those kits that makes two things. You can see here the Capricus Defender. We'll show you the Capricus Carrier in a minute. Essentially.
Oh, do we finally have an actual transport that's like in the middle of the way?
The Hernkin, or it's a transport vehicle. They've got so this is the carrier. So it's a smaller gun. It's got less other weapons on it, and you can see the stowage bag for the crew that will ride in the back. Whichever you take, essentially this is
this is more of a Hernkin thing. I like it.
The ground that they're taking.
Yeah, so it adds a bit of a mobility into your Leagues of Votann force. It carries 5 models, so it works a little bit like the other kind of Leagues of Votann transports, where you pick one of your units, it can split into 2 groups of 5.
It's a faster moving Sagittar, it looks like, yeah.
You ride them around in 2 of the transports.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a Warthog from Halo 3.
Either having the transport option, or you can just have all the guns and have a fast moving fire support unit.
Yeah, for me this is stunning. This is what made me march off to Warhammer World yesterday and buy the Hernkin.
There's some really lovely little touches on this. The stowage
underground
bags
artillery,
like
artillery, if you will. $2 from Jude Black.
As well.
Thank
so if
you.
you've got an Ironkin pilot and an Ironkin gunner, you can build them like that. Fans of Ironkin generally, there is a lot of Ironkin
you've
in
done
this
quite well
Leagues of Votann release.
Absolutely so. There's also a new combat patrol for the Leagues of Votann on
Okay.
the way.
I can't get this combat
patrol
patrol because I already have too many Einer
champions.
champions.
It's a fantastic way to start an army.
Wait, you're missing
the
one.
loyalty
There's
box,
one
the
character
army,
that you haven't
you've already got
shown
one.
yet.
This one really focuses on those sort of kin.
There's a
bands.
named guy.
The mains there, of course, you've got the Thunderers in the background, the Hearth Guard in the middle. So it's just wonderful ingredients to bulk out a force.
Yeah, there's some really useful units in there as well. Like, you don't tend to see a League of Votann army that doesn't have all of those units.
Yeah,
in.
there's no wastage there.
So
right?
it's all good stuff. A couple of boxes of these, and then a couple of the new units, and you've got an army
You're
basically.
away. Yeah, absolutely so.
That's actually a good combat patrol.
Now,
Whoa.
onto, for many people's opinion, I expect the main event of this release. This is Bury Egnisson. Eddie?
So Bury Egnisson is the last survivor of a Leagues of Votann clan, which has been consumed by the encroaching Tyrannid menace. He is known as the Thrice Devoured. A Tyrannid monster has actually eaten this guy.
I do like
but
dwarves,
that
yes.
wasn't enough
Thank
to
you
keep
for
him
the
down.
$2,
He clawed his
Linky.
way out of its gullet, climbed his way back out to safety 3 times, apparently,
Yep.
and now goes across the galaxy, across the kin warbands as a roving Tyrannid killing specialist.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in terms of specialist, he is an absolutely elite combat unit.
I kind of fuck
he's
with this
equipped with
guy.
That Dark Star glaive, which you see there, which is cool.
Oh, that's another Dark Star weapon. That's
he's-
cool. We only have one of
pure
those.
violence in melee form.
I think you're going to get a lot of this guy in armies because his rules are very good. He is he's got a great combat stat line, but he's also a lone operative. So you can imagine this guy advancing either on his own or alongside, kind of behind your forces, and
I
swooping
kinda-
in on
I
the
kinda
big enemy
fuck with
monsters
this,
and stuff
yeah.
that get forward to threaten your battle line.
Yeah, and his lore really comes into it. So he's a member of.
But
he's
again,
the only
dude,
member
Leagues
now
of
the
Votann character,
Under
tactical rock.
Aegir
Alright,
block,
cool.
Which is one of the Leagues of Votann. Literally wiped out down to the very last kin, which is this guy. And so he's so bitter. His whole life is devoted now to just hunting down the Tyrannid menace and supporting other leagues to stop the same thing happening to them. And you see that played out on his model. He's got this sort of belt buckle, which very much looks like he's sort of taken some affectations from the Tyrannids. He's got what looks like, we've been having quite a discussion about this, a Tyrannid Prime sort of cadaver.
I think it's a
over his
Tyrannid
head.
Prime that he's got over the top of his head.
Yeah.
There's a nice little nod in this model as well to there's like
I just
the
noticed that
idea
his
at some point
cloak
that
is
the
probably
the
made out of
Swarps were
Tyrannid
eaten by
leather,
the
which is
Tyranids.
really
Yeah,
funny.
And
Used to-
this guy kind of goes, well, yeah,
Yeah.
they were eaten by the Tyranids, but also they clawed their way out again. So there is a little.
You're
bit of truth
rich,
to
but
that
are
sort
you
of,
Tyrannid leather cape
that
rich?
outdated understanding maybe of what happened to that faction.
Fantastic. And all this obviously will be supported
Alright.
with Codex Leagues of Votann, an all-new Codex for Warhammer 40,000, which contains. I've had quite a while to read this week. It's just full of spankingly good lore. It's got great rules and art.
Actually, yeah,
explains
it
all
would
of
be
the things,
interesting if he
obviously.
was the guy who was part of the
in terms
Lost,
rules, there's too much to go into.
the Lost
any
Core, like
real
the Mad
detail here,
Core.
But a thing to cover would be those yield points, which is the sort of army-wide mechanic which underpins them.
Absolutely, yeah. So yield points effectively changes the way your army works over the course of the game, and it works in the way that the Leagues of Votann approach
Yeah.
acquisition effectively. So early on in the game, when you haven't got very many yield points, you're getting bonuses for attacking enemy units on objectives for the most part across your army. And then later on, once you've acquired yield points, you get bonuses for having your own units on objectives, so they get better at
from
defending
Bash
them.
Crash
better
13.
bonuses for their
Way
defense,
back, you
that sort of
talked
thing.
Yeah, it
So
sort of
to me
encourages
about
you to
orcs
play
on
in that very
Twitter.
sort of,
You helped me
acquisition
get
focused
into
way that the Leagues of
Warhammer.
Votann
Thanks,
work.
And
bros.
it's a really
No
great
problem.
mechanic, right?
Glad I
Because
could
it's
help.
exactly how you win games of Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
Early on, you kick people off objectives. Later on, you hold on to the objectives. So
And
it's
some of the
powerful.
new units that we've shown and some of the units that already exist in the Votann army.
Mm,
now have
okay,
rules that key into
I'll
that. For
boost my
example,
audio
the
really
Nomadic
quickly.
Strategist just lets you increase or decrease your yield score by 1 each turn.
Yeah.
So really sort of thoughtfully put in so that this guy who's overseeing the total sort of tactical function of your army can just go nudge and help you out.
Yeah.
We should show some of the models.
Let's do it, yeah.
So we've got some in front of us. We're very lucky to, be
Oh.
able to put our paws on the heavy metal.
How we doing now,
So-
boys? We loud enough?
There'll be a bit of sort of scale comparison here, but here you can see this is the Arcanist, and then you've got the Memnir.
I
And
like
they're
them.
like
I like the
normal
scale-wise.
Votann
Scale-wise, they're pretty
cards.
cool.
So any kin is about the same sort of proportion as those, and here you can see just how sort of much bigger the Steeljacks are.
Ooh,
I
Steeljacks
think
are
your
pretty
comparison
big.
that you made to compare them to Wraithguard is really quite fair.
Yeah, they're about the
actually.
same size as a Wraithguard. It's kind of in that ballpark of.
So it's
kind
like
of
Space
heavy-
Marine
heavy
size.
infantry.
Yeah, okay.
This is the new artillery piece. It's maybe not like as big as something like an Imperial Guard tank or something like that, but compact, mobile, that sort of thing fitting in.
Get your paws on these. Yeah, okay,
You can sort of imagine it starting life as a piece of mining equipment, and they've sort of evolved it into a weapon.
You can definitely see sort of some of those origins.
Oh, you meant the GW stream, not me. All right, all right.
Here, you can see over his shoulder, he's got like a data slate. You've got this sort of, I don't know, like loading hatch that you can model open or closed. On this side, you've got a case which has more of the shells. You get spare shells on
X volume, and
it's just a really thoughtfully designed and very exciting kit. So we should show more though, because this is by no means the end of it.
Absolutely, we've got the Capricus here. So just make. Some
hopefully
space.
that's a little better.
Have a look at
I've
this guy.
tried.
So this is your new.
Oh wow, that's
vehicle.
a small
this
vehicle.
Is the Defender pattern, which is the gun version, and as you can see there,
$2 flame-ish mash.
All
right, okay, I see it.
One which is a transport vehicle, but I really like the ironkin on this. Is actually
he's got like a tiny little chair.
Quite small, yeah, because they wouldn't fit a full-sized kin in there, so they've given them a little tiny ironkin, actually perfectly designed for the role.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's extra small. That's adorable.
To show himself in many ways.
He is.
So
the thrice
Me
devoured
going
there.
to show and tell to show
still
off my
kin-sized,
my silly little
but you can
toys.
Kind of have a look on this model here. That so much of him is now bionic, right? So he's been chewed
bionic
up and
fingers that do it.
yeah, chewed up
really
and
cool.
spat out so many times that like his arm, bits of his arms, there, most of his face, perhaps a kind of unspecified amount of his body has probably been dissolved by horrible turned bioacid in the.
I don't think I'll get that guy.
Still kicking.
I do like his model, but I'm the type
also
of person
shows
to run
how
mostly generic
durable the
unnamed
kin are, right?
characters.
So they're specially designed by their Votann to be durable to endure.
This
kind
is
of
our
those hostile
Warhammer Silk
conditions.
Song?
He's a good
Yeah,
example
something
of
like
how
that.
That's kind of manifesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? So I think we've covered the League pretty thoroughly, right?
Yeah.
Before we move on, we're going to go to the old world next. A couple of sort of housekeeping bits. The first one would be we're going to return to the 41st Millennium at the end of the preview. So particularly if you like Kill Team, but also there's some other things for other factions as well. Do hang around if you like Warhammer 40,000.
Okay.
The other thing I would say is that lots of the people who mentioned that they were joining us from around the world, you can interact with our social teams. We
Yeah,
have,
they're generic unnamed characters, but I run
social
them
teams that
as my
manage
own
our-
named
our
characters.
various sort of social media places.
So,
Here they are. If you wanna,
we got a
sort of
new
get
Arthur
involved in the
Legionnaire.
conversation
Thank you
in,
for
the
joining.
language which suits you. Go knock yourself out. They're really lovely
Oxio
people. They're
Show?
really engaged and
Hopefully
want
I got that right.
You know, sort of make sure that you get to hear about Warhammer in the language that suits you. So,
Yeah, I got to get them at least for
and
the
if
sake
you,
of completion,
speak
because I have
English
all
or
of
you're
the
a
Leagues of
posh about it,
Votann models,
these
no
are our socials
exceptions.
as well. So please come and join the conversation.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Yep.
Right, time for a little bit of Warhammer: The Old World.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me block out in case
So,
there's... Oh, they're just going straight
first up,
in.
we have brand new units for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. This is a new multi-part plastic kit that makes the Royal Heralds. The easiest
Okay.
way to describe these is that you
There's
have
a little
battle
bone
standard
snake.
there,
Look at that
and you
dude.
have
Look
a
at
new
him.
Hero/Lord. You could make that.
Oh, my
call it
mouse
a
is
Tomb
showing
Prince
up.
or
But
a
like,
Tomb
yeah, look
King.
at the little bone snake. I love that guy.
You get a battle standard, which you can put on either thing. So if you fancy a faster moving battle standard, stick it on the horse guy. If you fancy him like standing around in one of your big regiments of skeleton warriors or tomb guard, then go for the on foot version. There's some options in terms of head things as well. Battle standard bearers are key to Warhammer armies. If you play the old world,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like
like
battle standard, that kind
the
of
Tomb King
weird
characters that they've been
swapping,
releasing.
both
I
the
just
paint
feel they have
scheme
too much
and the model
skin.
itself
I
are
don't know.
very
They feel
cool.
too
As you say,
green. They
this
feel
is
too
multi-part
magical
as well, so
looking.
you can swap and change.
I like
You've
when
got
they're
the
just
faster ones, you've got the
skeletons.
chapter
But I also
ones,
just
and
really like
Yeah,
the
you
old
can mix them
skeleton
in.
look for them.
I would imagine there's a fair bit of customizability between this kit and some of the other Tomb Kingy bits as well.
yes, yeah,
So-
not just within this kit itself, but also I think things like the tomb guard, for example. So this isn't the only new plastic kit coming for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. We also have the Leech Priests, who are
Leech
fundamental to
priests.
the
All
workings,
right.
literally,
All
of the
right.
Tomb Kings.
Yeah, you absolutely need Lich Priests in your army if you've got a Tomb King's army. Your army only
New
woke
plastic
up
Lich
because you had
Priests.
Lich
All
Priests.
right. Okay.
It's their job to kind of keep the magic flowing that keeps your army marching forward. Again, this is a multi-part kit. There's some lovely options on these. You can see they're perhaps a little bit less dead than some of the other Khemri,
Yeah,
but they're still
they've got
very
some desiccated skin hanging
definitely
on.
desiccated. Definitely spent far too long in the desert instead of doing it somewhere. I love the vulture on the top
It's
of
good.
The staff.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks,
Oh, there's a
for bringing
dead
that back.
bird on
This
one
is
of
really
those.
lovely
I like
image,
that.
these sort of animated creatures that have.
I think
sort of
these
come
are
alive
good.
through
I
the
think these are
magic
needed,
rituals.
right?
I think you were saying as well that looks like it
I also
right
like
out
the
of a piece of
aesthetic that they're
Warhammer art.
shifting
Yeah,
to,
the-
where
the
there's
mounted guy in
like
particular,
the
I think, they're
Khemrian
both
paper is
exquisite,
red
but the
with
mounted
white
guy,
text on it. I think
from
that's
sort
really
of
cool.
Perfect angle. He just looks like the artwork, and I mean that as the highest possible compliment. Tomb King veterans might be wondering if that's extra armor on the skeletal steed. It certainly is. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
Oh
in a
god, they're
moment.
adding barding in.
Yes, you can have a bard Barded Skeletal Steed, which
Barded
might be
Skeletal
quite
Steed.
useful
All right.
if you're used to terrible armor saves in your Tomb King's army. I guess we can talk about that now. If we go across to also coming out is a new arcane journal, The War of Cetra's Fury.
Oh,
Cetra, the imperishable, is very, very angry. His lands have been defiled. He feels like he owns
that's a
everything,
hardcover book.
and he is launching a
Interesting.
invasion northward into the sort of border region between the Empire and Bretonnia, sort of known as the Vaults. It's also inhabited by
I love the small
some dwarfs,
creatures.
and you've got sort of dispossessed barons and nobles
Thank
from
you.
both the Empire and Bretonnia, and so they are forced to rally in defence of a full-scale invasion of the undead from Khemri. There are
So that
rules
means they
for
are
sort of
releasing new
allied
arcane
forces,
journals. All right.
playing smaller games in like a timely and interesting fashion. It's just packed, and it's a really cool way of looking at the lore of the old world and how they're sort of explaining the things that took place in this particular part of the Warhammer timeline.
Yeah. It's great to get some new lore for the old world as well. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
The team diving.
If you don't mind
into
as
the
I eat
opportunities
burger that I had
the world allows them to have.
And
and
see
a
what I mean about the
leftover. I'm
artwork,
hungry.
right? So the
Haven't
guy in
eaten
the
much
centre,
today.
like it just in this piece, it really just screams the imagery that we saw before. I love it. There's another arcane journal coming, which is equally exciting. Just happens at the other side, quite literally, of the region in the old world known as the old world. This is Dawn of the Storm Dragon, and it features a bold strategic move made by Miao Ying, who's the lady pictured in the centre. She's one of the children of the Dragon Emperor, and she learns of the Chaos Invasion, which is happening in the north, and is concerned that it's going to gain too much traction. So loads ships full of Grand Cathayan soldiers and sails to the Empire, sets up an enclave, and helps to try and stymie this Chaos Invasion. In real terms, that's A, a cool story, and B, there's rules in there for all sorts of things, including the opportunity to have an allied force of Grand Cathay and the Empire of Man.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
That is
We've
really
never had anything like that before, really, have we? So
Yeah, so, and I think this is sort of a great example of the really sort of bold and exciting things that the studio team responsible for the old world are doing. They clearly love the setting. They want to explore it in really rich and vibrant detail.
sounds great.
Absolutely. So, we should throw over to Question Corner and see if Simon's got any pertinent questions for us.
What have you got for us, Simon?
Loads and loads of questions. I think the majority of them are focusing on the Leagues of Votann. There's loads of shiny new toys coming out there, of course. So the first one is actually about the Judgment tokens. Are they still a thing? Obviously, we've got the yield rules, but what about Judgment tokens?
So the focus in terms of the arming mechanic is those yield points that we've talked about before. It's always good when we get a question which is like, can you tell me the really grainy, like granular rules things? Because the answer is no. We've got 90 minutes to rail through as much stuff as we can, as fast as we can. We'll cover way more detail about Votann rules and mechanics and all those things as we lead towards it. But you're in for some subtle changes in the way the Leagues of Votann work.
This is very
and it's quite
interesting.
Cool. We've got another one, which were the funky drill shell tokens on the Chthonian Earthshaker. What do they represent?
So I do have a really short and candid answer for that. You saw them on the little base beside. The kit comes designed for you to have 2 of those. Mine, if I remember correctly, and don't like sue me, internet, if I get it wrong, you put them down alongside the Earthshaker when you deploy, and you can remove one from the game to give yourself rerolls on wound rolls as you're playing. So,
What?
yeah, kind of fun. It's like it represents something, and you take it off and you spend it.
Yeah, so the unit is sort of set up so that they have some specialist shells, so that'd be like representing the
Okay.
unit. Like, right, we're going to use one of
Okay.
the big ones now. This is the important shot.
Perfect.
And probably got time for one more, so let's go with how many models can the Capricus carrier transport?
Great question.
It carries 5, so it works a little bit like some of the other Leagues of Votann transports, where you take a unit of, usually come in 10s, you split the unit in half, so 5 of them can go in that. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can carry both the units.
So buy
around in
2.
those, or you
Okay,
can leave 5
yeah.
of them back on your baseline and deploy them elsewhere.
Grand, that's good.
Nice one. Thank you. So we'll draw a curtain on the old world, but we will go to the mortal realms instead. There's some exciting things for us to talk about here. And let's start with a new battle tome.
Oh, hey, good timing. Very good
Grand
timing.
Alliance. These are the
I
Flesh
can't
of the
elaborate
Corpse.
further, but
Many of you
good
will be
timing.
familiar with them. These are the like foul and abominable cannibal monstrosities who unfortunately have delusions, quite literally, of being noble and elegant and chivalric, and the truth couldn't be sort of further from that.
Yeah, they absolutely imagine that they are in service to some grand king on perhaps a grand crusade of some sort, or part of a pageant, or a noble feast of some sort, but are in fact horrible, degenerate cannibals, as you say. The new battle tome has all the stuff that you would expect. Lots of new ways to use your army, new magic abilities, new enhancements, changes to some of the way the war scrolls work. So lots of exciting stuff. And perhaps most excitingly, there is a new miniature on the way to accompany them, which is the High Falconer Felgrin. So much like the rest of the Flesh to Court, this guy is under
Yeah.
illusion. His particular illusion is that he is
I like
a
this, dude.
falconer in charge of noble and wise avian creatures, where in fact he is in charge of a swarm of rabid bats. The model is very characterful. Like he's got his kind of weird, crazy hat.
Whoa,
It's
bats be upon
almost
thee.
like the vestiges of that nobility that you were just referring to, right? He's got like a very sort of like huntsman-y style hat on, and the tattered robes of a person that might be performing.
I kind of fuck with it.
But he's also got guts hanging off.
It's
the
a
trees
very
quite
fun.
well.
It's a very fun miniature. I think in the spinning shot, maybe you can just picture it. But there is a bat that comes with him, which is basically a token that represents something in the game, where he sends one of his falcons off to spy an enemy unit, and that can give you bonuses in games, basically. So these are the kind of spies, the eyes and ears of the Fleshy to Courts. And if you direct it to an enemy unit, it can give your squires, your kind of ghouls, bonuses against that enemy unit. You can do things like take away their ward save and get better at killing them, basically. So a very useful unit to have in your game, and a very characterful model for your army.
Nice. There's also accompanying this release for the Flesh Eater Courts, the Charnel Watch. This is a new spearhead, so you can use it straight in games of spearhead, or you can use this to bulk out, or maybe you can use this to bulk out your existing Flesh Eater Courts army. This is
I sleep. I'm not a fan of this one.
Infantry focused spearhead. It's got models that you'll be very familiar with, and the way that they synergize within this game, within Spearhead, is really fun. Expect sort of lightning assaults, and then using monstrous-sized infantry to sweep the enemy away.
Yeah, also a great start to a larger Age of Sigmar
absolutely.
army for Flesh Eater Courts. It combos really nicely with the existing Flesh Eater Courts spearhead. So if you've got that already, you can add this in, and you've basically got most of an army. Some really good stuff. A couple of the cannibal monkeys in there as well, which
it's what everybody
always a
needs,
winner.
right?
Who doesn't love that?
There's another battle tome for the sort of Death faction, which is the Nighthaunt. Here we have Death Battle Tome Nighthaunt.
Okay.
They're a very popular, iconic faction within the Mortal Realms. They sort of had their place within the second edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and they've really sort of cemented their spot as sort of beloved.
Yes,
this
someone in
book
the
is,
chat,
like, jam-packed with the
Shadow
lore,
Uick. Too many
it
old
explains
models. Yeah,
all
you're
as well
right.
as all of the,
That
war
Spearhead
scrolls
does
and
kind
information
of.
you would need.
It has too many of the
I was
older
talking
stuff
to
that
an
I'm not a
avid
big fan
Nighthaunt
of, but
player
like,
about
yeah, I
this,
get it.
yesterday,
That's cool.
Who was super excited because he's sort of in the know enough to know, for example, that their ward saves are improving across the board, and so he's very excited to try those in games.
Yeah, there's some significant defensive buffs for the Nighthaunt, certainly, with this battle tome. Generally speaking, you're finding that the units have a bit more health. The way that their immunity.
Oh, we're not even close to the
A
middle.
little bit. So generally, their normal saves are. A little
Oh, we're
bit
like
worse,
15
but you
minutes
can now
actually,
bolster
because
them
this
with
hour and a
incredible
half show,
defense.
we're getting there.
And
I feel like there's some
their
shit that's
ward
gonna
saves are
happen.
across the board. A 5 up.
Well, so thanks for $2, Linky.
Yeah, perfect. But let's get on to the model. Which
Oh,
is
wow, that's
the Lord
actually.
Vitriolic. This is a very.
I
disturbing
really
picture.
like that model.
In life, it was something like a poisoner or a.
That's
nature
a
of
really
like,
good
yeah,
model.
fake
Oh
potions
man,
and
the
curatives to
sculpt on
deceive
that's
people
really
and
good.
sort of,
The little
let them
faces
down
on the
or lead
vial
them
as
to
he's
ruin.
pouring out
And
the
Nagash is able
juice.
to claim his
That's
soul because of his
really
sort of
nice.
Malpractice, his evil deeds, and has reformed him into this horrific Lord Vitriolic with like backward jointed arms on top of his spine. He's horrible, but really fun in the game.
Yeah, so he's got some very fun rules. So basically, you can see his rack of potions on his back there. And the way that manifests in games is you can create specialist potions and throw them at enemy units. And you've got two options on how you do that. You can either just chuck a bunch of random potions at the enemy and roll some random things to see what happens to them, or you can concoct a very specific potion.
Bro, this
to do
does
a
look like
specific
something
job.
you'd find in
And
like
the
a
effects of those can range from
Bloodborne
things
game.
like doing harm to the enemy unit, taking away some of their advantages, all the way through to things like stripping ward saves from enemy units. So,
that one-
Honestly, yeah,
it's
you
a
can see that as a
really good
transcendent
sort of
Catan.
problem-solving
That's
unit,
actually
so
like
you
a
can
really
go, right, what
good
enemy am I
point. I
facing?
can see you
What I really
remodeling
like
this
is
as like something,
is this
but you'd
specific
have to make
bonus
the
or this
poison
specific
cloud a
debuff
lot
to the enemy
larger.
unit, or just to do some damage. So I think we're going to see a lot of this guy in Nighthaunt armies.
Absolutely. And as with the Flesh Eater Courts, there is a new spearhead for the Nighthaunt. This is the Cursed Shackle Horde.
You know what? That's actually a
it's
really good
just
spearhead. I like
all
this.
the ghosts all the time, right? An absolutely brilliant box.
Transporting
loaded
this would be
with,
fucking nightmare,
everything you
though.
want to either kickstart an army, reinforce an army, or play games of spearhead.
Yep, it's very cool, and obviously a great place to start a new Nighthawk army.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things were cool.
They're cool.
But there's a lot of people here who have been holding onto their hats really patiently, hoping that we maybe, show them something they've never ever seen before.
That would certainly be cool.
Getting ready to mute in case they start playing music. Okay, this is non-copyrightable music. This is DSC, right? Wait, Chaos Dwarfs? What? Huh? What? Say this is for the old world. Guys, I don't think this is for the old world. That's...
What an incredible reveal, Eddie! I know you're super excited.
I am very excited. This might be my new Age of Sigmar army. These are the Hellsmiths of Hashut. These are effectively the reincarnation of the Chaos Dwarf concept for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, an entirely redesigned and brand new army, coming out first in an army set, arriving alongside its new battle tome. The army set also serves as the spearhead force for the Hellsmiths of Hashut. These models are phenomenally cool. The rules are great. The lore is great. I love absolutely everything about them. Let's dive into the miniatures.
I think the first thing I want to say is let's talk about like why they are these. When the time of chaos happened in the mortal realms, the Duardin, they retreated. They survived in their holds, or they took to the skies, or whatever. But
not these guys.
But not so the Zardron, the Chaos Duardin, who would become known as the Hellsmiths of Hashut. They instead turned to Hashut, an ancient and terrible Duardin deity, who taught them the ways of
Thank you
Hellsmith.
for the $5, Linky.
Their whole culture is based around Hashut, the Bullfather. And we're going to see that sort of writ large across all of these models. Let's dive into the first thing that appears in this new army set. These are the Infernal Cohort with Hashut spears. Say that fast if you can. They are the core unit for the Hellsmiths of Hashut. They are an elite combat unit straight off the bat. These are very dangerous to Duardin indeed. And the first thing to observe is those Hashutite spears. Each of them's got like a glowing orb in it.
My genuine response.
Imprisoned, ground down, reconstituted demon essence, because that's how they roll.
So the demon legions that invaded.
Just gonna put that in the corner really quickly.
The Age of Chaos. Some of them took over the holds, but where the Hellsmiths of Hashut dwelled, they instead trapped those demon legions and decided to weaponize them into a fuel to power their war machines, their weapons, and their technology. So that green glow, as you say, is ground up demon juice that is powering the weapons of the Hellsmith.
Yeah, it's so cool. Things to talk about within this unit. Obviously, you've got like a unit champion. You see. You've got a musician, which is like this weird combination of the bare-chested Duardin.
Yo, they got hobgoblins!
Back, and obviously a standard bearer. It's a two-for kit. That's like internalism for this kit makes two different types of units. And so here you have them with Hashutite blades, basically shorter ways of killing people. They have different
These are really good.
Yeah, both very useful. The spears generally are your
These
slightly
are
more
really
expensive
good.
bonuses against the enemy that's charging you, against cavalry. The swords are the slightly more offensive option, where you get bonuses for fighting into enemy infantry and taking the fight.
It's real. They exist. They're not fake.
Infantry. Yeah, absolutely so. And you can paint them in different colours. The studio team's done a lovely job.
Does this mean...
The banner in the middle just is a really interesting nod to sort of these...
I don't know what this means, actually.
That's a ziggurat in the middle of that banner, right, with the Bullfather's rune above. They live in ziggurat cities, and each one is ruled by a war despot. As if by magic, here is the war despot.
I thought you planned the whole thing.
This is my favourite model within this.
It's a great hat.
It might be my favourite of the Hellsmiths. It's just so good. Huge hat, great big spikes. He's carrying an enormous warglaive, which is glowing. You see the runes at the top glowing with this sort of eldritch power. The war despots, they have to rule through a mixture of sort of violence, and also through just ensuring that everybody around them knows that they are the nastiest, toughest of all of the Hellsmiths. So they are dominant.
This dwarf does have a beard.
Like any Duardin,
It's
they
covered in metal,
couldn't
though.
demand the loyalty of their followers unless they were able to lead from the front, basically. So they're not cowardly, but they certainly are diabolical schemers, sort of thing. So they will lead their armies into battle.
What is
proudly,
going on?
but certainly not go for a fair fight.
And their whole reason for being
The Xbox
as a
logo glaive,
fire
yeah, that's kind of
culture
funny.
It's just like weaponized greed. They plunder and take from the land, and they give nothing back. If they don't want it, they destroy it. They are like cruel in the extreme because that's how they survive the time of chaos.
Yeah,
the stream was for me.
As corrupted through that. That's an
No.
interesting
There's no physical side effects at all to what they've gone through.
An interesting sub point. They see themselves as
This is
almost
crazy.
the paragons of purest order, right?
Yeah.
So they've taken the assault of chaos and they've ground it down and created like order from chaos. But in the mortal realms, they're paving over the natural order and putting up the monuments to
Show
and
that
the
big
great
fucking
ziggurats that
thing.
power
Show
their
that big
industry.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Also within this spearhead is just this incredible centerpiece model.
Dominator engine with
It's another
immolation
kit that makes
cannons.
two things. So here you can see the immolation cannons. This is a enormous
Oh my
metal
god!
creation, which is
Yo,
animated and powered
that's
by
fucking
this
awesome.
demon energy roiling inside it. Have a look at the
Dude,
brazier
what
in its
the
belly. You
fuck
can
is
see
this?
The demonic eyes peering out as like.
Dude, that
demon
looks
souls with these
so
torches
cool.
I love the
and
flames on
give
these
it its
things.
power.
That kind of like green into purple fire is
Yeah.
such a beautiful sort of aesthetic. This is both an incredibly cool miniature, which I think I'm looking forward to see.
Dude,
what
I
they
could
do
see
with this.
people running this
The
as
heavy
like
metal
a
one is
dreadnought
wonderful, but I think
for
once this goes out into the
Iron
wild, you've
Warriors.
got,
You're going to see
you know,
incredible interpretation.
Yeah, 1,000 painters painted this. It's going to be amazing. I can imagine this in beautiful non-metallics. In game, this thing is an absolute juggernaut, right? So it has
Dude,
a
this
2-up
looks
save,
really
arm save, which
cool.
in Age of Sigmar is almost unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
It has loads of wounds. It hits really hard. The combat version can mulch entire units. The shooting version is what you want if you want to wade into the middle of an enemy army and just set the whole thing on
Then
fire.
just well, if you don't like the green
Like a
flames,
lot of
go
the stuff
paint
in
them
the
however.
Hellsmiths
But this
army,
is
their
really
kind of army
cool.
mechanic allows you to harness a demon power on specific units, so you can bolster the power of it. And on these, it's particularly
Dude,
Fantastic.
it's
And
so
we're still not
chunky.
done.
I love
Also
it.
Within the spearhead, you'll find this. This is the Tormentor Bombard.
Man.
The Chaos Dwarfs of old. If you
It doesn't
go
have
back
the same
if you're old enough
zest
like me,
as
to
the old
world that
cannon,
was,
but like it's still
Chaos
pretty
Dwarfs
good. I
were
like it.
renowned for devastating artillery, particularly that lobbed things far across the battlefield, and that concept.
I
has
do
been
like the little
reimagined
eyeballs,
more
though. That's
recast.
cute.
Just beautiful Tormentor Bombard, raw demonic power hurled high into the
It has.
air.
It doesn't have the same
Crashing
energy
across
as the old hell cannon,
It's
right?
Deadly in the game.
Yeah, this is the war machine you use if you're being advanced on by multiple enemy units. So you can fire at a single enemy unit, and the units nearby also take damage. That's how devastating this is. Very long range. I think it shoots 30 inches, which again is very good in Age of Sigmar.
Merry mincemeat.
I think
I
the
will
Hellsmiths
care
have
more
pushed
if
up
they
between this
add
and some of their
the
other
funny
units,
red
have
cows.
claimed
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
one of the most devastating shooting armies in the Mortal Realms.
Well, let's talk a bit more about that because I think we have the Death Shrieker rocket battery.
Oh,
brilliant for just, like, blowing up
that's
the
actually really
enemy's
cool.
Big impressive things, right?
Yeah, so this is a monster killer.
Whoa,
right? So where you're on a war
ICBM
machine
be upon
to
you.
Take out blocks of enemy infantry and kind of massed formations. This is your. They have one big monster that I want to be dead. You can fire this at them.
I like
and
this. These are pretty cool.
With a fair, with decent rolls, will take out a monster in a single volley.
Yeah, you're
which is
firing
pretty good.
essentially a demon energy imbued bolt the size of 2 Duardin, stood sort of head to toe. Yeah, it's grim. This launch set also includes a battle tome. It also includes all of the war scroll cards that you would want to have with your collection. It's the perfect jumping on point for an all-new Hellsmiths of Hashut army.
But that's not it.
But that's not it.
What?
There's more.
Why don't we show you some more?
I have to mute. Sorry, guys. I'll get flagged. Wait, even more Chaos Dwarves? What? What? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
If the launch box wasn't awesome enough, they will be followed shortly thereafter with
Smash
all of those
$5.
incredible
If they
models
have
that you
it
just
by the
saw,
time of LVO, I might
rounding
pick it
out
up
the force
for a
into
game
really
after our
substantial and
rematch. Yeah,
impressive
I'm gonna be
Warhammer
real. I
team.
might pick up something because these look really
Immediately
good.
out of the gate, you have almost a full army offer, basically, of stuff. And we start off with one of the classic units
Bull
of Warhammer
Centaurs.
returning.
Oh my
Bull
god,
Centaurs
these
have
look
been
really
part
good.
of Warhammer for, I think, almost 35 years,
I
something like
remember,
that.
I remember being charged by these
yes.
when I was like 13 or
In
14.
Double
classic red
maces
with green
go
bases
so
like it was
hard,
in the
though.
day. But
Had
this is a heavy cavalry unit. They are basically the experts at riding down enemy forces and crushing them under their hooves. They hit very hard. They're well armored. These are the sort of manifestation of the power of Hashut in kind of form. The Duardin here have kind of warped to be more alike to their ancient ancestor god.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it to me earlier. I thought
It's
was
pretty
really
good.
striking, which is,
Spud, elf fans are in
Hashut's
shambles
whole
right
thing is,
now.
like, trampling
To
the
beer
mortal realm
and the
that's fully,
cannon.
like,
Hell yeah!
Drink
to that one, brother.
It's a different realm, and
Yeah,
you
so-
get stuck with the realm.
So there's loads of really great lore in the new Battle Tome, and one of the things that comes out is the idea that there were the ancestor gods of the Duardin, and Hashut was almost like one of them, right? He was like one of the pantheon, and he was given the realm of beasts, and he sort of felt that was almost like an insult, right? Like, I don't want the realm of beasts. So rather than trying to kind of be harmonious with it, he decided to just trample it flat. So all of his incarnation of beast power is in the form of trampling, in the form of kind of harnessing and subjugating nature.
Yeah, so let's look at the another sort of variation that this kit enables you to make, which are the Anointed Sentinels. These are the most devoted towards Hashut of
Oh,
the
wow,
Housemiths.
these are really
They
cool.
guard his holy places, whatever a holy place for the Bull Father Hashut might look like. So they're much more defensive than the other Bull Centaurs, although by no means a passive unit. They're just really great at counter-punching. And when you consider how much of the force might be standing back and raining death on the enemy...
Hey, don't talk shit
very
about
useful
Gur.
in
I
their
like
own right.
Gur. Gur's
You
a good
also get,
realm.
like, a
It's one of my
little interesting
favorites.
nod to that Hashutite culture.
I mean, that explains why they have
sort of
Hobgrots,
things
because
in different
Hobgrots
ways.
are kind of a Gur thing,
I
but, like, you
love
know.
those miniatures. They might be my favourite in the range, those particular sculpts.
They also key into that sort of classic imagery that we're used to from before. As
This is
does
a
the
very
next
simple
unit, which
sculpt,
is
but they look
seamlessly
really
segueing in.
good.
We'll see. So here's some variations. Infernal Razors. Now,
I hit you
these
with
have
the
got
big
blunderbusses.
gun.
And if you are long enough in the beard, you might remember Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses from yesteryear.
The absolute
Oh,
terror
Infernal
of
Razors
Warhammer
with
Fantasy's,
blunderbusses?
sixth
Hell
edition,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was diabolical. And these are a very dangerous shooting unit in their own right. Again, they're harnessing that sort of demonic power.
Actually, it's
to
pretty cool.
operate their
When I was
weapons,
reading, like, a few of the
gunpowder
Realmgate Wars books,
necessary here.
actually always seemed kind of
And,
interesting. I
the
just like
kit
fire.
makes two options. So you have those, and you have the flame hurlers, which, I mean, they hurl flames. There's not much more explanation particularly required.
Yeah, two really powerful units. The blunderbusses, not much to choose between them, really. They both do a great job. The blunderbusses have got a little bit more range on them. The flame hurlers.
I like
can
the
fire
little
while they're in
angry
combat, which is
faces
really
they
handy,
have
so even
on the
if enemy
sides.
manages
That's
to
really
reach you, You
cool.
can still sort of set them on fire. But the thing that really makes them is that through the army rule.
Yeah,
mechanic,
Krieger kind of
you can
overrated in my
power them
opinion,
up
so I'm kind of
and
with
power up the demonic energy inside their guns, which
Crack
basically
Duck in
increases the
chat.
rend on the guns. You can get these things up to rend 3, doing multiple damage, which is absolutely horrific. So if the enemy is like charging your big unit of Infernal Razors, and you get like a decent round of shooting against it, you can wipe out things like heavy cavalry and whole units of armored infantry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they are very, very good.
Yeah. Now, everything we've shown you really is quite elite and high value.
Get ready for
$4.99.
the other end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spectrum.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what if you want some chaff to hurl under the?
I was
the wheels
hoping
of the
for
enemy, so to
chorps,
speak?
so I
Good
could get my
news,
dad into Odo. That's
there is a
funny.
genial,
Also,
relationship
Hobgrot
between the
Vandals,
Housemiths of Hashut
I'm
and
in.
the Hobgrots,
These look
who
really
sort of bolster
good.
Their ranks. Hobgrots are also really into doing awful things and.
I like this.
desecrating the
Hobgrot
world.
Vandals.
And
Look
so
at them.
they
Little
exist
mustard
almost like a
goblins. Look at
vassal
those
state
dudes.
Within the Zardron culture, in exchange for better weapons than they could like forage for themselves, they get to join the army and whack stuff. They fill a really interesting niche in that they are faster than the Housemiths and they can scout, right?
They absolutely can. So the way these guys are going to fit into your army, most of your force is going to be very good at shooting, but relatively
Guys,
slow.
I think
so you're
I'm
gonna be
in.
moving on to the objectives. game, but these can scout, as you say, so you can kind of push them forward early in the game, grab those objectives, just get under the feet of enemy units. They will absolutely
This
be
is
used for
awesome.
things like trying to take a charge from something so you can set all your other units up for an amazing round of shooting, or to charge them with bull centaurs or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you will absolutely want some of these in your force. We've obviously seen Hobgrots before in the kind of Cruel Boys force, but these are armored and equipped by the Hellsmiths themselves, so they've got slightly better armor, maybe than the ones that don't
none of
have
that
them.
sort of eldritch power in the weapons, though. Not for these guys.
Oh no, they don't get to play with any of the cool demon stuff.
So let's look at some of the extra.
Oh, the
sort of heroes
Demon
that join,
Smith looks
the
so
faction.
good.
These are this is the
Stone
Demon Smith.
book.
They are
That's
the ones
cool.
who do the hellsmithing, I suppose it's fair to say. You can
This is
see
really good.
There's some real sort of
I like
hints as to
it.
Who he is obviously a wizard. He's got that demonic power sort of coming out of his hand.
Oh, his book's got a
tone
little
looks like it's
thing.
sort
His
of
book's got
etchy,
little tiny
I don't
feces.
know
Look at
what
those
Like
stone
things.
is.
Obsidian Jade.
Yeah,
or something like that,
exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
With like vile runes. I think his lectern is animated. In a nutshell, they
How
are
good is that
Little
painting,
Lectum's got
though?
little
Whoever
toesy
painted that in
woesies.
their heavy
He
metal
crawls
team,
around.
well
That's
done.
awesome.
Well done,
it's,
guys.
It's just stunning. They fill a particular function because they're the ones that enable all of the sort of the hellsmithing. to
Yeah,
take
they
place.
allow the kind of army to work. In game terms, they do a particularly useful thing, as well as being a wizard, which is obviously great. They can heal your war machines as well. So if you've got any of those big infernal engines, or you've got any of your cannons that have been damaged, they can kind of go over and put the power back into them, sort of thing.
Chaos. You could
This
totally
kit
chaos
has another
Votann these
option
guys.
in it.
These are actually like
It
such
also
good.
makes an Ashen Elder.
Whoa.
I showed you the anointed centaurs who are the ones
Me
who
when I'm
guard
out in the
holy
sun for
sites.
longer than
This is
5
the person
minutes.
doing the rituals inside the holy sites. And you can see that petrification has started to happen to his skin. The older a hellsmith gets, the more they start.
They turn to
become
stone. Okay, so
like
that's still lore.
stone
That's still
in
good lore.
effect. If they're
Interesting.
Very powerful, if they have the right magics available,
You can
to
hold
them,
it
they
at bay
can-
a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
maybe.
But doom is upon them. There's a couple of really interesting things. I like his staff. I'm just going to eulogize about how beautiful it is that the smoke makes it look like a beard. But you had a fascinating.
Oh,
comment
that's
on that.
actually really
so
cute.
there's
Yeah, the
lots of
smoke makes it
things
looks
that are
like a
really fun
beard.
about
That's
this
cute.
mixture, but, if we go for hammer particularly, there's not a lot of hammers.
Lore
in the
accurate,
Hellsmiths
Mr.
edition, and
Bones.
one of the
Yeah,
reasons is that
I'm.
Hammers are actually.
I do
seen
think
as
it's
a
funny that
slightly
most of these
profane
guys
symbol
just
for the
have
Hellsmiths
my
because they remind
aesthetic
them of the
bald
other dwarven
beard. It's
ancestor
kind of.
gods, which really like hammers.
It is
But
kind of
this particular hammer
interesting.
is blessed in the blood of other
Yeah, the
dwarven
Xbox logo, I can
priests.
kind of see it
So he would have,
everywhere.
like found a runesmith or something, or one of the Caradron priests or something,
Yeah.
and then slain them in a sacrifice and blessed the hammer in that blood. So that's why he's the one with the hammer when no other
So
Hellsmiths
if
seem to
you're
have
a
them.
Fire Slayer player or a Caradron Overlord
Oh, they hate
player,
this guy.
like,
yeah, yeah.
pick on this guy the
Oh,
most, right?
the Caradrons and the Fire Slayers really do not get on with the Hellsmiths. Like there is a lot. They've got beef, basically.
Yeah, absolutely so.
All right.
There's also another character we should talk about. This is Urak Tar. He's the first demon smith. Back in that ancient
God.
time when the Hellsmiths needed to learn to survive, he learned the secrets of this demon smithing from Hashut. He is truly ancient and abominably powerful. You can see how that manifests his the
Dude,
petrification
that
on
is
his back,
such a good
deep
model.
trenches of like
It's also
rock
the
starting to
copper
form on his
tones
flesh,
of like the
horns erupting
bowl
from
is
his
so
skull.
nice.
He's mounted on an enormous infernal, my brain's just gone blank, infernal Taurus, just centerpiece written all over him, incredible spot within the lore. Wonderful.
Yeah, very, very cool miniature. It's a 2-for-1 kit as well, which is really cool. It also makes your Demon Smith on Infernal
Oh, you
Taurus.
can turn him
There's
on like
bunch
a
of options on this kit
verdigris
as well, which is
copper.
amazing. So I can't wait to see what painters do with this kit particularly, because it is
absolutely.
just asking for a beautiful color scheme. You can imagine this in like beautiful
Ah,
non-metallics or
it's
metallics or glowing
so
runes or
beautiful.
kind of petrified rock.
I love how
or something else,
absolutely
but,
fucked
again,
shredded
kind
that
of
dude is on
manifestation
there.
of Hashut as,
Shirtless and
again,
just fucking.
never deciding to use
yeah.
the natural materials.
That's
right? It's always
awesome.
going to be industrial in some way, or made out of iron or metal or stone or something like
and
that.
the only wood on the base is like burned,
Burnt to
ruined.
cinder.
it's
Yeah,
so
you,
good.
you can imagine him walking through a forest of just like that.
Yeah, should we take a look at some of the models in the flesh? We've got them here in the room with us, and we can give you some sort
I've
of
got
a sense
ourselves
of
a
their
little
colours.
lineup.
Yeah, look
from,
at this.
look at that.
It's looking good. Here is my personal favourite. You have the War Despot. You can see he's a very chunky-looking dwarf.
Yes, they're small. I like them.
Next to him, you get a sense
But they
of
look
size.
exactly as small as I'd want them to
With
be,
the
right?
camera, They're perfect. You can see like bigger in stature, more powerful. Moving along, you have the Demon Smith and the Ashen Elder. Teeny tiny little hobgrot on the end of the line. Really quite sort of scrawny, just perfect for subverting to your will and getting through your daily work.
Just for kind of scale purposes, that's the same size more or less as the Hobgrots that currently exist in the Cruel Boys range, so you get an idea of the size. Much larger. We have the bull centaur there, so you can see that the power of Hashut sort of coursing through that guy. This is a fairly large cavalry miniature there. It's like on a scale with some of the kind of again, like Agrodon sort of size, that kind of.
Yeah, he's big to say the least, but not as big as, terrible segue. Here we go. Just
even beefier.
Dude, that model's posing is so good.
Such a cool model. I think you can have a few of these in your army as well. There's a few different options.
And not a
kind of
tactical
heads and,
rock in
things, so
sight
I
for any
certainly
of these
expect to see,
characters. That's pretty
a few of
good.
these making their
That's
way.
pretty
Let's
good.
bring in at least one of the artillery.
Yeah,
pieces
let's get one of
if we
those
can,
in.
and then
Right,
we'll
so-
get to the main event. So if I
shall we do
squeeze
them?
some of these,
We'll
guys
run
Oh
out of
man, those
space.
cannons
There's
are
too
actually
much stuff
really
in this release.
big.
It doesn't all fit on the table.
I don't think anybody will be complaining. There we
Yeah,
go.
the
So
kill
we've
team
got
is going to be
machines.
Leagues of
Again, these
Votann
have
versus
got
Chaos
really
Leagues of
lovely little
Votann.
dioramas on the back, so
It's
you've got
giving Trench
multiple
Crusade. Yeah,
characters sort
kind of
with different
actually.
roles across the artillery piece, like
Yeah, absolutely.
funneling the demonic power into the engine or stoking the furnace and that sort of thing. A little bit like the Leagues of Votann artillery we saw before. These are just like wonderful little pieces in their own right.
Yeah, but let's bring in Uraktar, shall we?
Yeah, he's the big guy. Here he is.
Round this all.
The Erector?
So I mean,
Fuck.
this is he's a
That's
fairly
a
big
Powers
model.
giant
you,
mini.
above even the Dominator engine.
There we go.
Just exceptional. There'll be loads more pictures
Ah,
of this on Warhammer.
Bit of a
Community
tactical
dot com,
rock, but not a big one.
And
I do
if
like
you
the
can
burnt
see it on
trees,
Montell,
that's
there's
pretty
probably
cool.
Some bits and pieces of information that we left out. We need to move on.
Yeah, we need to get
Right.
That's
Before I
very
do,
cool. Very
before
cool.
I do, one more thing. I'm aware that lots of people in the chat might be keen to know about Warcry and whether or not Warcry is relevant here. The Warhammer Studio team are going to publish rules for using Hellsmiths of Hashut for Warcry
Okay.
when they release.
Yeah.
So
What?
keep your eyes peeled on the Warhammer.
Yeah,
website.
Warcry.
Download
Everybody's
the
happy,
Triumphs and
right?
the Hellsmith,
You get a
models
little dismissive
in
hand
Warcry.
wave being like, no,
So
we
not
didn't
only will there be
forget.
a full new army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, they will also feature as an entire new faction in Warcry as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also,
Yes, it would be nice if we segued seamlessly into the Warhammer Underworlds. So welcome to Spikewood.
Oh.
This is an expansion.
I knew
for
even
Warhammer
more
Underworld.
Chaos Dwarves.
Um,
Chaos Dwarves
it's,
versus Wood Elves.
The scene is essentially you're in the Spikewood. You have a Hellsmiths of Hashut warband fighting against.
Show us the warband, not the
Kenothi.
box.
So it really is industry versus nature.
yeah, there's a strong rivalry in the Mortal Realms between
Okay, I like the
Hellsmiths,
pose.
who are all about, like, as we say, trampling nature underfoot, and the Sylvaneth, who are all about protecting nature, and the Kenothi are a particularly kind of
Sylvaneth.
warlike aspect.
It's
of
cool that they're
following
bringing
the kind
these
of
guys
absolute hunter
back though,
god.
because I remember
Fair
they did a
enough.
kill
And
team
so
for
they will
not a kill
defend
team,
the
a
wild
Warcry.
places of
No,
Mortal
an
Realms.
Underworlds
Here
team
you can see
for
the
these
two
guys a little
warbands.
while back
This
as
is an
well.
expansion, as we say,
The weird-
for Embergard. And you have.
I don't know what they're
the,
called. They're
the
Sylvaneth
Hellsmiths,
elves,
Kenothi.
but they're
Blood of the Bull is the Hellsmiths unit.
fucking
Bottom left-hand corner, you have a
red-haired and
War
kind of weird. I don't know. They're weird.
army advancing into the Spikewood has suffered a strategic reversal, so she's regrouped with her sort of remaining warriors, her inner
I
circle.
like how chunky this bitch
and
is.
waiting
She's
on
pretty cool.
reinforcements before she can raise the place to the ground. So she finds herself contesting it, obviously, against the other warband.
Yeah, and you've got some great archetypes in the mix there as well. I particularly like the Hobgrot.
He deserves a call out, doesn't he?
He does, because if you've been playing Warhammer for a very long time, you may remember hobgoblins from Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and there was a unit called Throat Cutters, I think it was,
think
or
so,
Throat
yeah.
Slitters. He is basically a homage to
Yeah,
those.
it's really lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, they've
I like
got,
these looks.
the
I like
rules
these. These are
reflect
simple.
that
I won't
sort
get
of,
it, but like you
plunder,
know, I
tinker,
like
you
them.
want, decimate the landscape just for the joy of it sort of mentality. The other warband in this set is, he says, well, there we go, the Kernos Herald. There's three of them in the kit. They make these Kenothi. The thing to point out with them in terms of like their rules and how they play is that they're very defensive because they're holding what they've got. They're not interested in stealing other people's stuff. They just want to protect their woods. And so while they're in their own area of the board, if you're an Underworlds player, you'll be familiar with the sort of mechanic. They're better, so they're better at defending their own
So
objectives.
it's quite an interesting warband then, because they're quite a fast warband, and usually you'd expect that to be quite aggressive.
Yeah.
But your bonuses are for.
Why do they have
Yeah,
like
so
glowing Steven
redeploying,
Universe
fighting
belly
in
button
different areas
gems?
in your own area, and just
I love these miniatures. I think we've seen Kenothi in Underworlds before.
It looks
This
like
is
they
an
have an
expansion of that,
infection, like a
but
really
I
bad
think
one.
This is a phenomenally cool looking warband.
I looked at them too long, and I'm really disturbed by their gemstones glowing
You
in
said
their
that you
belly
don't like the
buttons.
glowing
Yeah,
belly
it's
buttons.
Something about it, man.
I dig it. I dig it. I'm here for glowing
Right?
belly buttons.
So there we go. Awesome stuff also for Warhammer Underworlds. What an awesome set of releases for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
And
Yeah.
10 years of Warhammer
That's a
Sigmar
really
as
fair
well.
point. Yeah. 10 years ago this month, we saw the arrival of the Mortal Realms, the birth of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And we're going to be sort of showing over the coming year a whole bunch
It's
of
the
interesting
start
things,
button,
to do
yeah.
with, the Mortal Realms. So if you enjoy Warhammer Age of Sigmar, you're in for a good
Her
time.
anime
It's taken
princesses.
the Hellsmiths a long time to get here, hasn't it?
Yeah, it
but
was
then they
worth the
are
wait.
only movement 4.
Oh, they're
so-
bringing back
Rafi,
some of the old teams. Nice.
respectively, reminded us that there is in fact 5 more things to
Oh,
talk
there's
about.
more. Look at this.
And we're already getting the move along sign. There are 4 more boxes coming for Warhammer Underworlds. Each box contains 4 warbands. Each box also synergizes with a particular faction. So this is the Order one, the Seekers in Shadow, and it contains 4 warbands from the Order faction, Grand Alliance, I should say. This is the Death one. These are the Reavers of Ruin, the Chaos warbands, and we've saved my favourite to last because I'm allowed to. The Gits and Goliaths, the Destruction warbands.
Oh, yo, they got the
Each-
Loon Court.
I mean, anybody who plays Warhammer Underworlds will know.
And
each
the
one of them
Ogre
is
one.
like
That's
they're
just Ogre and his
character form,
thing.
only
Yeah,
different
hell
part of
yeah.
the
All right.
Mortal Realm setting.
I could
You
get
get 4
get
in a
on
box.
that.
It's delightful. To play with them, you would need to pick up this, which is the Warbands of Spitewood. Contains all the cards and everything. that you want.
Okay.
So whether you
At
fancy
least they're
playing
doing
them in
backwards
Warhammer
support for the
Underworlds,
old factions so that people
seamlessly
can actually
integrating
continue to play them.
with their War Scroll cards into Warhammer Age of Sigmar, or just having some different hobby experiences. There's 16
Idoneth Crab, let's go.
opportunities.
They are-
Okay.
every one of those boxes is all killer, no filler. There are some beautiful miniatures in there, including the crab, the Idoneth crab as well.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think we actually are at the end of the Warhammer.
We
Age of Sigmar
are
section
now at the end of the Mortal Realms.
It would be a good time to check in on Question Corner and see if there are in fact any questions.
Yeah, there's loads. People are very, very excited to hear about the Hellsmiths joining Warcry. That'd be really cool. as well.
Fantastic. We're really pleased because we want them to be able to play with them and enjoy them.
Yeah, and of course the range is stunning, so people are super pumped about that.
A box is
so
just for me, I
there's a bit of
guess.
confusion about
It
the,
seems like
Grand
this is
Alliance
just a
that come
really
from.
good stream.
So presumably they come from the Chaos Grand Alliance, and if so, how do they fit in with the rest of the Chaos?
Yeah, so I can take
go
that
on.
one. So the Hellsmiths of Hashut have a slightly interesting relationship with several factions in the Mortal Realms. They are definitely in the Chaos Grand Alliance.
Okay.
So
We
despite
did need
what
a new
they
Chaos
themselves
faction for them,
believe,
yeah.
They probably are corrupted by Chaos at least a little bit.
You don't get to play with that much demon power.
No,
and
I
not
mean
be-
you have tusks growing out of your face and horns growing out,
and you're turning to stone.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
something's
Alright.
got a little bit demonic.
Okay,
there.
let me just
But
adjust
they
my
would
mic
consider
really quickly.
themselves as kind of champions of order, but they are in the Chaos Grand Alliance. They also trade with the various.
Oh,
forces of Chaos.
Bailey
They have
Shaw,
Chaos
yeah, they did a
Warlords and things would go to
Votann
their ziggurats
release
and,
already. Like, it was
be
a big
served
one
with, like,
too.
weapons that they
The
forge in
Votann
exchange
shirt was
for
obviously a
bounties
thing,
collected
yeah.
across the realms. They also have a kind of symbiotic relationship with the Hobgrots and have traded with like the Cruel Boys and things like that. But they are Chaos Grand Alliance.
Nice. So how does Hashut fit in with the Chaos Pantheon? Does he want
Really,
to become one?
really badly.
Yeah, it does not play well with others as
So-
a recurring theme, really.
So he is part of the pantheon of the Dwarven gods.
I'll be
right?
honest,
But,
the stream could end right now and I'd
he
be
feels
fine.
ostracized.
Whatever else they have to show,
They
I'm good.
understandably
I'm
want to
I'm beyond
ostracize him.
happy with what we got going
So
on. I'm
the
feeling great.
Hellsmiths kind of vilely resent
They are
the
running it
Dwarven
close because
gods
we
in
still got a
some
half
great
hour of
practice,
shit. So Hashut is a sixth
which
Chaos
is why
god?
there's
Yeah, I
such,
guess so. It
growth
seems
in
like they have another
Great
one.
questions. Thank you very much. We need to go to our next setting, which we will do by moving to the timeline of the Horus Heresy.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
Oh, we're
there
doing
are
Legions
a
Imperialis.
multitude of great releases coming.
All right.
If you play Legions
Whirlwind and
Imperialis,
Scorpius missile
all
tanks.
tanks.
All right. Okay.
So if you're a
So many
treadhead,
tanks.
settle
So
in,
many tanks.
and we'll take you on a tour. Several boxes of fantastic.
They really got to
fantastic
speed it
kits,
up because like they've
that
got
make
like
some really
3 other
interesting
games to
additions
get through.
your
It seems.
On top of that, you see the Whirlwind and Scorpius set. It's 8 of those, 4 of each. And so if you want to just range,
We don't
their
even
fun
have
on
a
the
whirlwind
roadmap,
in the
they
Horus
have,
Heresy, so I guess they're going
it's
to be
really is
previewing
a
that, I would
wonderful way
assume.
to do it. Built on that famous Rhino chassis, as is the Vindicator siege tank squadron.
Vindicator. I got a few of
Essentially,
those.
What's the biggest gun you can stick on a Rhino? Oh, it appears to be a gun with a breach
What
big
if
enough
I
to
want?
stuff a
I
whole
want an
space
even
marine in
bigger
it.
gun, though, Adam. I want a bigger gun.
You want to do a heavier siege?
I want a
than
heavier
that.
siege gun than that.
Well, I've got some very good.
The
That's
Typhon
exactly it.
Heavy Siege
Typhon
tank.
Heavy siege tank squadron is on the way.
Big fan.
It's even bigger and more dangerous than the Vindicator. And you get like a nice guy with a flamer just warming things up and making sure that everything goes.
Is
according
he
to plan.
contributing? Like, by the time you've been shot by that
I like
siege
to
gun, how
imagine
much of a flamethrower do you really
I
need?
imagine he's just like baking off what's left, you know,
Maybe,
like drive
yeah,
through and he's
maybe.
like, you're getting some and you're getting some.
Alright.
If you want to blow things up from further away, maybe there's a Titan
Cerberus
squadron
Heavy
that offends
Destroyer,
you, and you can
okay.
do a lot worse than the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer Squadron. These are firing turbo lasers. That guy is offering you a fist bump. It's a wonderful time to be driving tanks over the enemy.
Yeah. Some debate in the office as to whether it's a heavy tank destroyer
All right.
or
Okay.
a heavy tank destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. We've had some debate
Let us
on
know
that.
in the chat which one you think it is.
Do you think it's a heavy tank for destroying or a tank for destroying heavy things? Answers
Possibly
in the chat.
both. Possibly.
The heaviest of
Mastodons,
all of
all
the
right.
tanks, it's so heavy, it's super heavy, is the Mastodon assault transport. What if you want to just pack Space Marines into a tank, drive it across the battlefield, open your gates, and charge into an enemy
I'm curious
stronghold,
how big this
having
tank is,
leveled
because the
walls with a larger
Mastodon
array,
in game
then
is like
this
a
is the way
50
to
unit or 50
do so.
model
It's
transport or
even got
some
its
shit.
own
It's huge.
anti-aircraft system on the top, and the pilot of that is offering you a crisp fist bump as well. I imagine he gets on great with the other guy.
It's sort of a
Yeah, look at the size of that
30,000
Space Marine on
equivalent of a
top. This
siege
must
tower,
be
isn't it?
I
like
love it.
Kind of vibe.
pretty
The
big.
design on this, we've seen
Not
this at,
huge,
standard
but like,
140,000
it's
scale.
probably big
It's
for this
beautiful.
game.
It's still beautiful at small scale. It's just little.
Yep.
So those kits, like loads and loads of tanks, the Treadheads Rejoice. All of the rules for those, in fact, all of the rules for all of the units in Legions.
The
Imperialis
elephant
can
from
be found
Halo.
in
Hell
the
yeah.
Legion. Essentially, a thing that combines all of the rules and puts them in one place. If you've got a copy of the core rulebook and got a copy of this, you are ready to rock and roll, along with a whole bunch of other rules content. There's too much to go into here and now, but have a look in the article that's going to be on Warhammer Community, and we'll talk more about it closer to the launch. What if you really like the letters A through F and you want to mark objectives and or token
You
effects,
guys are really, you guys
releasing
must have
a
gone a
really
bit too slow because they're running.
useful set of
They're running
token
as fast
markers
as they
you
can.
use.
They've only
I
got
find it's
about
something very
like
useful
30
for
minutes
reminding
left.
me what effects you want in the game. And then there's all the
Poor
formatting
Legions
mistakes you
Imperialis
can
players.
make
I
for
want to
your,
play this game. I got the
Imperialis
starter set
game.
for Space Marines when it
The-
first came
the
out,
team
and I thought it was
responsible for
great.
setting
I
a
like I
really
painted a
just
bunch of them, but like
cracking job of making sure that,
it's
like,
I don't know. No
the
one
rules
wanted
are
to play it because it was
accessible,
kind of
you can get
shitty.
hold of
Well, not
them.
shitty, but
It's
it's
really
just
fun
like
fun.
no one
I
really
enjoy
wants to
it.
play Epic
Kind of
40k
compiled a lot
area.
of stuff together into
Yeah,
a
or
more
Epic
convenient
Horse
way of
Heresy.
I've got a
approaching
good
it.
friend who's super into it, and he was asking me about like how he gets all of his rules together. And I just had to sit there quietly, knowing that this was around the corner.
Wouldn't that be great if they're all in one book?
Your prayers have been answered. There's more stuff set within the Age of Darkness. We teased these in the Saturnine preview, but we have the Mark II Assault Squad.
Mark
that you
II
showed
Assault
one
Squads,
before,
We
didn't you?
cool.
did, yeah, I absolutely love these. So this is the new Mark II Assault
I
Marine.
do
Mark
like the
II is
great
kind
chain
of one of the more
axes.
brutal looking of the various different Space Marine armor.
God, these
and
kits are
these
so
guys have
good.
ramped that up even further. You've got some options in this kit for a variety of different weapon options.
Power mace.
The coolest of them is the chain axe, which is an optional free upgrade to the chainsword that comes normally with your assault marines.
Yeah, and so the kit's loaded with chain axes. It even has heavier chain axes for extra clout. Think of them as slightly slower than chain axes, but they have a
Chain
more
swords,
dangerous.
yeah.
Sorry, chain swords, but they have a more dangerous effect. Absolutely. There are points free alternative. So
I like the
if
guy
you,
with the disintegrator
if you buy
pistol and the
these,
mace.
it's
That's just
a straight point.
that's so all over the
weapon swap,
place.
Just a straight kit swap. If you're dying to have that classic chainsword loadout, then there's some good news because you can swap the arms with the ones that are on the Mark VI Assault Marines, or you can just get them from the upgrade kit. But I think compliance never looks
Shields?
better than it does
Yeah,
with a
but
Shield?
There's some great different options in there as well. You've got a couple of heavy chain axes too,
Yep.
which is another upgrade you can put onto some of the models. The Sergeant's got the option for some pistols and close combat weapons. And as you can see with the Salamander on the screen there as well, you can also equip them with combat shields. So loads of different things you can
I
choose
love
to
the
mix
great
them with.
axes
I
though.
would
Those are
imagine
pretty
we're also
on
gonna see some
point.
of these converted with all the different Space Marine kits. One of the lovely things about the Horus Heresy is that so many of the kits are really interchangeable with each other, so you can take bits of heads and arms and weapons and stuff and really create it.
I really like the breastplate on these, that high gorge.
Terminators. Give me
they're
Terminators,
just
guys.
fantastic models. Well done them. There's more coming as well. We previewed the Journal Tactical, which is available to order right now. In fact, all of Saturnine is available to order right now. There's a new Journal Tactical on the horizon. It's called the Forges of Saturn, and this is really all about Vulcan's gift to his brothers through the Saturnine project. And so it focuses very heavily on all of those suits of armor that we've seen.
I have things to say on this, but we'll
there's
save
loads
it
of
for
great new
after.
options in this book, particularly allowing you to do more stuff with your Saturnine miniatures. So there are different, basically, things that you can do to your Saturnine miniatures using other kits, mixing kits together to create new units. So this is a really great example. This is a Saturnine command squad, and what you've got here is a unit that's taken bits from the command squad sprues and also some spare bits from someone who's built a Saturnine Praetor with his axe. You get the hammer spare. You can now give it to characters in your Saturnine command squad and basically make them into a champion. The other option that you can have
they're backpedaling, boys. They're scared. They're scared.
Centurion. That's the Thousand Suns guy on the far left there. Saturnine Centurion means that you can now have like 2 tiers of Saturnine commander you can have in your army, and effectively unlocks the ability to have an entire Saturnine styled army if you wanted to.
Yeah, one of the topics that's handled inside this Journal Tactica is the way the legions embraced Saturnine armor. Obviously, to use it at all requires you to be at least to some extent psychically sensitive. That really plays into the hands of the Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns love it. It's their favourite.
But there's all sorts of things. It's not just the Thousand Suns that sort of get the rub in this. So there'll be lots to enjoy, and we'll tell you more about it as we get closer.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff about how the different legions have sort of embraced it. So the Thousand Suns have sort of used it as intended to some extent and kind of put all of their psychic...
Yeah, there is a bit of backpedaling that I'm noticing here. Because like with the release of the Horus Heresy, they kind of had this like idea on the horizon of like, oh, no models, no rules. But now they're like, no, you can get bashed, guys. We're releasing rules to get bashed.
In this sort of area of the timeline. I am super excited to be able to announce today on behalf of the Black Library.
At least they're putting it out there, right?
New mega series on the way. This is the Scouring. This is book 1 called Ashes of the Imperium.
Oh God, it's happening again!
Multi-author mega series set in the ashes of the Imperium. It's the first
so they are covering the Scouring.
The Horus
All right.
Heresy is ended. The Emperor is mortally wounded, enshrined upon the Golden Throne. The War Master is dead. The forces of the traitor legions are in full retreat. What happens next? So this series begins essentially at that premise. And here we have
guys
a very understandable
I think Dorn might be announced by the end of the stream.
Damaged Rogel Dorn and Rabute Gilliman, who has arrived pristine with reinforcements. And as you can see, they're at loggerheads already. Black Library are super excited for us to be announcing this today, because this is the culmination of a lot of work and effort between a really sort of carefully assembled cabal of writers and creatives that have been plotting out a multi-book series, which we're going to see play out over several years. I'm really, really excited by this.
I think you were saying to me earlier on that there's kind of like 3 core themes, aren't there, that's being explored through this.
So in a nutshell, and without spoiling anything for those of you who want to enjoy it, I promise you spoiler-free, there are 3 principal themes. Theme number 1 is what happens with the legions Astartes, right? They've essentially caused all of this, or their brothers have. They've ruined the work of the Great Crusade. The Imperium is in tatters. What is the place for the Space Marine legions in the wake of this catastrophe? For the traitor legions, the second of these sort of perspectives, the War Master is dead. Their whole purpose for doing this has now failed. The Chaos Gods withdraw some of their power. So suddenly they thought they were onto a good thing, and now they're relatively
interesting.
Alone at sea. How do they survive? How do they regroup? The third group,
if Dorn comes, so will I. Godspeed, sir.
Which is what of humanity, right? They've just watched these demigods wage war across the Imperium, ruin everything, destroy the Emperor's great works. The Emperor is mortally wounded. How do they respond? How does humanity rally, and how does it perceive the place of the Space Marine legions that remain?
Absolutely, and I think worth saying as well, this is absolutely, you can treat this as a self-contained series.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that big into Dorn, so I'm not going to be that excited, but I do think that he's the most likely Primarch to be announced at the end of this, because apparently they have more 40k shit. So
there's a lot of books to read, some great stories in there. But if you are new to the Horus Heresy and kind of the setting and the era, you can absolutely just jump in with Ashes of the Imperium and treat the Scouring as a series in its own right.
Yeah, I have to give a little bit of a shout out to Chris Raitt as well, who is the author chosen for this first book. He is a true gangster of words. He's written some of the
true gangster of words. Okay. All right.
If you've never read a Chris Raitt book and you just want to dip your toes in ahead of trying this, I could not recommend enough of Valdor, Birth of the Imperium. It sort of sits outside the rest of the sort of Horus Heresy experience a little bit. And it's like top tier Black Library fiction, and might be a fun way to sort of whet your appetite for more Chris Raitt. As we approach the release of this, we're going to have a full-length interview with Chris talking about Ashes of the Imperium and all of the care and consideration that's gone into it and the narrative that unfolds. More on that on Warhammer Community as we have it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think
that was awesome. Cool. I really am super excited for it.
No
We're not
cataphracti?
done yet.
We're not
We
even,
promised
we're not
you-
even close.
We
We're not even
promised
close.
that we would return to the grim darkness of the.
Okay, boys. $5.
And we do
Stricker
now with
demon.
5 new Space Marine heroes for
I think
5 of the
Dorn
first
will need a
founding
hand
chapters.
getting back.
Right,
Okay.
This is Vulcan.
Oh,
Heston. So this is
all
a
right,
model
okay.
returning that has
All
previously
right.
been in
Vulcan
metal and
Histan.
resin and is now in
Primaris.
plastic.
Okay.
Vulcan Heston
Salamanders
is a
eating.
famed hero of the
Salamanders are
Salamanders
eating.
chapter, and his
They
particular
consume.
mission is to scour the galaxy looking for the relics left by his Primarch, the namesake Vulcan. He wears some of those relics himself, so he is equipped.
The
with an
helmet looks
artificial
great.
suit
I
of
do like the
armor.
fact they're going
He's
with the old
carrying a
40k, like
handheld
7th
heavy
edition
flamer
helmet.
and a blade
Or Mark
of
7
Vulcan
helmet,
that
sorry.
crackles with magma fire and is able to slice through enemy warriors. He's also walking through flames, just in case you weren't sure he was as cool as he can be. He's just walking
Okay.
through fire there as well. He is probably the most iconic Salamander's character that exists in Warhammer 40,000.
They're like,
And
we're
it's
not
great
even
to see
close to being
him,
done. I'm like,
plastic.
I mean,
he has a couple of head options. You can have helmeted or unhelmeted. And
Health and safety first.
both of them look very, very cool indeed.
this is a good
He is
model.
only one of the 5 new Space Marine
Yeah.
characters on the
Next
way.
up, we have a very iconic
Not
and
Gregor
well-known
Dessian,
hero,
just Darneth
returning
Lysander.
in
But
the
yeah, no,
Nation
big Darneth.
Lysander,
Good for
first
him.
Captain or captain of the first company, I probably should say, of the Imperial Fists chapter. He's been remade in the sort of new Terminator armor style that we saw for the first time.
Yeah,
in,
the same scale as the one.
yeah,
Can we
in
get
the-
Assault
and
Terminators
he
too?
is a substantial man in that armor. He has an enormous storm shield. He's carrying that.
The fact that you can put the
incredible
helmet on
Might be
goes
the
hard.
best
I
storm
like it.
shield in Warhammer. It's up there, isn't
it's
it?
right up
It's up
there,
there.
yeah. I think the Lion might argue with you, but we're talking top 3, right?
He's iconic.
And yeah, everything you'd expect from this iconic hero of the Imperial Fists chapter.
Nice to see a helmeted option in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm thinking
If you don't want to paint a face, and sometimes you just want to get him on the battlefield nice and fast. You can-
yeah, I mean, if it wasn't yellow, I don't know, I might find it easy to paint the flesh, to be honest. He is not the only. There are 5 of them altogether. So next up, we have Canok Var, a new character.
Who?
Iron Hands chapter. This is the
Wait,
the
that big
captain
club
of
is
the
cool.
Lerny clan.
Yeah, the equivalent
What?
to your kind of.
Hey, hell
first
yeah,
company.
Iron
Again, a
Hands,
Terminator
you know
on the
what?
same scale
Yeah.
as the recent.
Gorgon
new
Terminator armor?
kits.
Okay.
Some really lovely little features on here, really leaning into the kind of Iron Hands lore. You've got lots of nods towards his technological know-how and their kind of alliance.
That
with the,
club is actually really cool.
Yeah, he's got sort of servo skulls attached by data tethers, sort of conjuring information. Look at the one on the bottom right-hand corner. He looks like he's projecting a Fortress of Redemption.
Yeah, he's got like a little holograph.
Yeah.
That's cute. I like that. That's a good model.
building
That's
that
a
they're
really good
planning to
model. That's a
proceed
cool
with.
And I
power
think
club.
My favourite thing on this model is actually the power maul, which is shaped after a Tetsubo, not a weapon I'm used to seeing, and it just really works on this guy's sort of straightforward practical.
Yeah, the
execution.
Tetsubo club. That's cool.
Next up, and I think for
More.
many people, this will be the sort of
This one's cool, guys.
the model which fires your imagination. The Raven Guard have
I
a new chapter master.
Absolutely.
Wait,
love
a new
this guy.
chapter master?
The new chapter master of the Raven Guard. And you might be saying, Eddie, they already have a chapter master. What happened to Shrike? Shrike has led the Raven Guard for some years, but has decided actually his place is better in the shadows as the captain of stealth assaults, and he has left Ethion
Okay.
Shan to lead the Raven Guard as their
Ethan
figurehead and their
Shan.
commander, and the miniature is
Okay.
absolutely phenomenal.
I
We very recently had Logan
really
Red
like
Dawn,
this
I
model.
think only this last weekend, and this continues the tradition of having just an absolutely phenomenally cool-looking chapter
This is
master miniature.
really
Rather
cool.
than in sort of the imagery of the Raven Guard chapter that you'd expect to see, there's those sort of tassels that. Sort of
I
hang
like
from
that
him
they
and you
did
sort of
away
see
with
it
like
in
the
his grip of
Primaris
deliverance.
claws
He's
and
got
they gave
feathers
him
and
them
feathers
big
and
chunky
feathers.
boys.
He's got 3 head options. Aethon Shan is a really.
Kayvon Strike
tremendous
isn't dead. He's
model,
just
model,
stepped down
and
as
I think
chapter
the Raven
master.
Guard
Bro just
fans
got
out there
tired.
are
He
gonna
needs a
be
nap.
delighted by what he presents.
He's got some weird
there's
looking
one more.
armor too. It looks like it's just a mixture of different.
Sabodin Khan. He is
What?
the first.
What are
captain
they
of the
announcing?
White
What the
Stars
fuck
chapter,
is going
his
on?
First company. on
Everybody's
this
getting something.
mighty-looking,
Everybody,
Grav
we're
Gun.
all here.
It's got
They're all getting something.
Gatling cannon powered
Finally,
into the front.
White Scars have a
It's
character
just
on a
the
bike. What is
perfect
happening?
embodiment of
What is
the White
actually
Stars
happening right now?
hero
I'm losing my
chapter
fucking mind right now.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. There's all sorts of beautiful
Wait.
Shigorian details on him there.
Yeah,
You can
what
see
else
the
do we
kind
got
of
left?
form on the front
Oh,
of the
Primaris
deck is
Pedro
very,
Cantor? Fuck it,
reminiscent
throw
of
it
some of
in.
their Heresy era designs like dreadnoughts and things like that.
What
We've
else we
the
got going
model
on?
with us, so you can have a look at it, but,
Trying to remember.
there's
My
some
mind's drawing a
beautiful
blank here.
detail.
Like
We've
another
got Shigorian
Primaris
shields and
Ultramarine
sheaths
character.
and,
Let's go.
decapitated enemy heads and stuff like that. It is just
Dark
the most
Angels,
White
new
Scars
character?
looking
Let's
thing
just
you've
say,
ever
hey,
seen.
who says
It
no?
fits beautifully in and
Iron
lots of
Snakes, let's
outlining,
go!
fast moving
Damocles Squad, physical
stuff. There's quite a
representation.
long wait for the White Scars
Yeah,
to have
absolutely.
a character on a bike,
the
and
characters
it's
have
well worth
traditionally
it.
had to walk, haven't they? So
Minotaurs?
nothing more.
Yeah, let's put
really
Primaris,
beautiful.
Asterion
How do I
Malakin. Who
get my hands
cares?
on these, you say? There's
What is
some
going
quick
on?
ones there. There's a
Oh,
series of combat
it's
patrols
okay,
coming
cool.
out.
He's got
Listen
his
carefully when I
own
explain these.
combat
Very
patrol now.
useful
That's
to
cool.
Sabodin Khan is in the White Scars Combat Patrol. You see it here. It's 3 Outrider bikes, an Intercessor Assault Squad, a transport, and Sabodin Khan. He will be available separately not that long after the release of this Combat Patrol. He's the only one of these new heroes that comes inside a Combat Patrol. The others are available separately, but here are the Combat Patrols that come out with them. So you have an Imperial Fist Combat Patrol, just full of heavily armored.
That's just a
Imperial Fist
very
troops.
useful
You've
kit.
got, Terminators.
5
and a command
Terminators,
group,
10
and just looks
Intercessors.
wonderful.
Oh,
Next
that's...
up, Iron Hands, heavy Intercessors,
Alright,
heavy
okay.
weapons.
Oh, we're not getting any more
everything you might
characters?
expect
Alright.
from these tough, durable warriors.
I don't
of
like
the
combat
Iron,
patrols that give you half
Hands
of a
chapter.
squad of
The
intercessors.
Raven Guard, a bit more.
Fast and Phobos.
Yeah,
That's the
fast.
way to
That's
do it.
good. I like that. That was strong. Yeah, they're going to get in amongst it much faster.
Only
Imagine
half
these
it's
ones
Phobos,
traveling,
but like
it's gonna
whatever.
Be tremendous. But what if you just want to carry all the flames all the time?
Ah,
Every
yeah,
model
hell
in
yeah.
this entire combat patrol has something that makes you hotter.
Either a melter gun or a flamethrower
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form.
I think there's some assault intercessors who maybe ruin my attempt
Oh,
at
no.
connecting it.
Oh,
But do you know what?
never mind.
That is a lot of flamer and or melter, and I think you can excuse us. putting in
Some
a
new
side
transfers in those kits as well. Adam, I know
Yeah,
you were a very
no,
big fan of that when we were
you
looking
just,
through.
hit
kits.
on my like secret nerd part of Warhammer. I get really excited by transfer sheets.
Wait, there's a
I
model
can't
there
do
that we
pretty
didn't
much in my
see.
life,
Or am
but
I
I can stick a
tweaking?
decal on with the best of them. Each of these will come with its own transfer sheet, which means that you can apply all the details of the heraldry and everything. And there's loads of cool extras on those. Case in point, the Imperial Fist one has some decals that do Crimson Fists. So if you were a fan of the Crimson Fists successors, then you can fill your boots. We'll show you those ahead of time so you can sort of plan your purchases and your painting experiences as we get closer to these.
Yeah,
Shall we have a look at the models?
Yeah, I've got some. Of
I
the,
am
the
tweaking, it was
miniatures
5?
right here.
Okay.
We've got some kind of classic stuff, so you can see the scale of them. And we've also
That-
got,
that hover
some of the
bike's
new
cool
miniatures.
as fuck,
So
I
if we
like
start
that.
off, over here with
Oh,
the
there we go.
Raven Guard side. I brought along a assault
Regular.
intercessor sergeant. It's not a small model by any stretch of the imagination, but you sort of get a sense of how big the new chapter master of the Raven Guard is.
Cantor,
there.
please?
He's on,
Okay.
a big base. He's going to be quite an intimidating.
I think there's just a random
character.
bike.
Certainly going to be the largest of your infantry models. Probably standing
That
not far off
that Raven Guard
the
chapter
Dreadnought
master is
at the
pretty
top of his
cool.
base there.
Yeah, what's interesting is you may have a tactical rock to sort of raise him up a little, but Darneth Lysander is such a brute that he's not that much shorter than either of the two models you just mentioned. He really is very dominating. And then Sabodin Khan next to an Outrider. First of all, check out the sort of similarities between the stylings, the sort of the shape of the bike, very sort of reminiscent of the things that you see on the Outrider. But if you spin it around, check out some of
There
the
are
details
so
on the
many
back.
lovely details on this.
Oh,
I really
the
like
little-
the shield.
The
There's
sword
some
and
sheaths,
shield.
there's some extra
Yeah.
weapons. There's like as well as having loads of lovely detail. There's also loads of space if you want to do some
Okay.
like Chigorian freehand or something like that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's going to be up there with the Golden Demons and things, so that where people choose
It's
the
yes,
models.
it's exciting to see what
It's
people
really
do
nice.
with it. So there we are, Space Marine. Characters.
Surely that's all the Space Marine we have time for.
So you say that, but there is a little bit
Okay.
more Space Marine on the way. This one's really exciting for me because
If I have to
I got
mute
to help
it.
a little bit on the team that have brought this to life. I am over the moon to present the first ever officially licensed wearable Space Marine helmet.
Oh.
This is the Lieutenant Titus Mark 10 helmet made by JoyToy. If you've not heard of JoyToy,
Does it
where
have a
you've
Darth
been,
Vader style
hiding,
voice changer?
JoyToy make beautiful action figures under license.
I got
from
so
Game
excited
Workshop.
for a
They
second.
do Warhammer 40,000 ones, and they do Warhammer Age of Sigmar ones, and they do Warhammer the Horus Heresy ones, and now they have made this incredible helmet. It's just really something, and I can talk about some of its features. Inside, it's got an adjustable sort of headband, so you can change it to fit your head.
Yeah, it's a little
What that
weird.
means is that unless you've got the tiniest of heads, like a small child or a grot, you should be able to make it fit. I have the most preposterous, like, potato head
I
imaginable.
think I'm going to say what everyone is thinking, which is just put it on.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see what it
will.
looks like.
But before I do, so this is the prototype that we've been sort of working with them on. And before I do, I'm going to flip a switch because we're under very bright studio lights. But inside, can you see the illuminated? A little bit. There's some really great pictures that you'll be able to see later. But I feel like a space marine already. This is just
I feel like
That
I'm standing
makes
next to
your
a
head
Space Marine.
so
I mean, it's
big.
never
Holy
felt so
moly!
good to feel like Lieutenant Titus. So
That guy
the
took that
lenses
head
inside
off
illuminate.
pretty quickly.
You can
Or that
buy it
helmet
with
off pretty
this
quickly.
Lovely display stand as well. This is the Mark 10 helmet stand. It looks like something straight out of
Yeah, they
a
didn't show
battle
Kill
barge
Team.
or a Fortress Monastery cell where a Space Marine might put his war gear when he's finished on campaign. It's your choice whether you want
Weird.
to get the helmet separately or with that.
Maybe
but
they forgot.
I've had this in my office for quite a while and it looks really cool. When can you get your
This
hands
is
on
for
it? I guess is the
someone.
question.
It's not for
When can I
me,
get my
but it's
hands
for
on it?
I'm
someone.
glad
Someone
you
would want
asked.
it.
The answer is when this preview show is done, the pre-orders begin. So you will be able to go to warhammermerch.com and pre-order it.
You gotta
So,
assemble the thing when you get it too.
yeah,
gotta
I'm
paint it.
just over the moon
It's
to see
great
this
plastic.
in the flesh, in real world. Very, very exciting. We're still not done with Warhammer 40,000. We need to go to Kill Team.
Okay,
to
Crack Duck, calm
the
yourself.
Kill Team.
Kill Team. La 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 la. Okay, I had to mute that really quickly. Oh, Geomancer, Rock Boy, Space Marine Kill Team, Deathwatch Kill Team. Okay, okay.
New kill zone, some incredible
Okay.
miniatures. Let's take
Okay,
a
I
look.
want to
This
see the
is
miniatures for
Kill Team
the
2
Death
World,
Watch. They
and you
look
get
really cool.
Absolutely loads in this box.
It's just bursting with cool
This
stuff, right?
might be the best Kill Team box. It's
Connectable
way higher than I
hallways.
struggled
Did
to
you
argue.
not learn from the last time you did
There's some beautiful
this?
stuff in here. I mean, if we talk about the battlefield first, you've got some absolutely amazing Necron scenery.
Yeah, I
a little
saw
bit
the Wolf
like
Spear
Into the Dark
logo. It's
Signal you
like,
saw
Yeah, absolutely.
a little while back, and certainly allows you to play games.
I gotta
in
go
that
back
same
to
sort of
bed.
style.
I'm too
Doesn't replace
I'm
it
too
necessarily, but
sleepy.
allows you to play that kind of close
Okay.
confines, up close battles. Really thematic. You've got the kind of undead Necron crypts as the warriors.
I want to see
wake
the
from their
Necrons. Yeah, no, the
ills from
Necrons
slumber.
look pretty cool.
But the kill
Geomancer,
teams
that's an
themselves are
interesting
probably
one.
Where the real excitement is. So if we start off with the Deathwatch Kill Team, this is the return of the original Kill Team. The name Kill Team itself comes from the concept of Deathwatch, and they have come
Okay,
out
so
with
we finally
an
have
amazing
like
new range of
Primaris
miniatures.
Kill
There were
Team
10 of these guys in the box.
for
You
Deathwatch.
can build them in a whole range of different ways, and there are some lovely features. Adam, have you got any favourites from
I
the
mean,
mix
for
there?
me, I'm all about the big firepower, right? So
Why does
sort of
that,
bottom right, you have
like
a
fleshed hair at the
frag
bottom
cannon,
look so derpy?
because that's the
Why does
best
he
way
look
to
like
read
he's
Xenos,
like in
right?
direct sunlight and has to squint his
you can't
eyes
really
to
go wrong.
close them?
I call
His
him
face
out
also
Fleshed
looks
Hair 'cause I happen
puffy.
to know he is. One of the things that's really striking about this set. is
Yo,
there's
that dude on the
loads
top right
of,
that looks like a
different
red scorpion.
heraldic,
He looks like he's
devices
unhinging his
available.
jaw.
Quite obscure chapters as well.
Yeah, I mean, so flesh terrors are perhaps not obscure, but they're not necessarily what you might expect. For example, top center, that's a member of the Wolf Spears, which is one of
Okay.
the few successes.
I like
to
the
the
Wolf
Space
Spear.
Wolf
Wolf Spear
chapter.
mentioned, pretty cool.
You've got an Ultramarine on the right-hand side. The crossed swords on the one bottom left, I think, is probably making him
Executioners.
a Guardian of the
I
Covenant.
think you might
Oh.
be right. You might be right.
And as a Dark Angels.
Oh, no,
collector,
those are
that's quite
axes.
exciting.
We had a
Yeah.
fun game earlier on where we tried to guess all the different chapters.
Yeah.
A red scorpion in there as well. That you can't.
Okay.
Quite make them out, but
There's 5 more that you can see here. So,
Imperial
if you
Fists.
see any that are a chapter that you're interested in,
Raptor,
shout 'em out in the chat.
nice.
I think the top middle guy is going to get some attention because there's a lot of fans for those guys.
Trying to-
Loads of options, loads of different specializations for your kill team to be built with.
These are good models. I like
They
them.
really are the personification of pick the right weapon for the job when you start your game.
And when you play Kill Team, the way that this, any Kill Team works is that you have a roster of different warriors, and then you
Okay.
can choose the ones you want before your game starts. You get 10 models in this box to make your Kill Team. You've got loads of different options, and then you choose before each game your Kill Team.
Yeah, I
in
kind
game
of
with
this
5
kill
of those warriors.
team.
You
This
get
kill
any
team is
5 you want.
great, so long as it's very
Check it
customizable.
out with the,
Like
some
if
of the
these are all
the
mono pose and
main
these are the only
design
options you
artists.
can
It's
build,
great to see a
I
mix
feel
of
like this would be a
Gravis and
disappointment. But
Phobos
like
and
this so
Black
far
Knights
looks
as well.
pretty
So
good.
that's a Gravis, effectively a heavy intercessor archetype, but he's even more upgunned than you might expect a normal heavy intercessor to be, which have already got quite big guns. In game
Okay,
terms, the
all right.
Deathwatch have got all sorts of specialist Xenos killing kit, but one of their things is effectively in each turning point you can choose one of them to use a special piece of ammunition, and you can basically pick a special rule for that gun to have. So it can be blast or precision or extra AP or something like that.
All right.
So that a kind of quite long-standing concept of them having the ammunition.
It looks like
exactly
it's going to be a
what you need
10-man
do
box,
makes its way
actually.
into Kill Team, as well as them just being pretty good all-round Space Marines, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not the only thing in the kit, although you might excuse our enthusiasm for thinking so. There's also the
These
Canoptic
are just
Circle.
one
These
Necron
are the
warrior, just
Necrons,
one.
guardians of this tomb complex. Essentially,
That's
their
really
job
funny.
has been to oversee the reanimation.
I love that
protocols of all
Geomancer.
of
That's
the
a
Necrons
spider
you see in
guy.
These alcoves. We'll show you some more of the terrain in a bit. And so these are the sentinels that are ready to now sort of attack the interlopers.
Yeah, and they were just going about their business, waking up all the Necrons, and all of a sudden this very rude kill team of Deathwatch burst into their crypt and decided to start wrecking up the place. So they've had to mobilize against them. It is a very powerful kill team. This is the Canoptic Circle. It is led by a Geomancer, which is a type of crypt.
One single
Symbolic
scarab
of
swarm, yeah.
She is the leader of the warband, and she definitely kind of is the core of the force, right? So
And she's big and powerful.
she's
right?
big and powerful. Yeah, she alone can take on a Space Marine, but the other troops in her force need her to kind of be at the center to kind of coordinate the efforts. You've got a few different other models in the
Such
mix
a
there
big
as
and
well.
powerful
As
model
the
can
Geomancer,
single-handedly
you
take out
have,
a single Space Marine.
The
Ah.
on the left-hand side. The
That's really
guns on the
funny.
top is the Tomb Crawler.
Yep.
Then sort of the right hand.
That's
and
silly.
There's another one sort of, central to the right.
Everybody else,
Then
nah,
the
they're literally
smaller
just made out
things,
of tissue paper and
they
hopes and
are
dreams.
Your reanimated
Any dwarfs
your
yet? Oh
warriors.
no, we got
So
a lot of
normally
dwarves
they'd
actually.
just be pooling around, making sure everything's safe and well. They've been reanimating some Necrons.
Yeah, we've got.
but
It's been a
when
great stream so far. We got
Deathwatch
whole
come
new
knocking,
Leagues of Votann second
they,
wave. We got
they
Chaos
action.
Dwarves for
Yeah,
AOS.
the crawlers have got some particularly formidable weaponry, right? So like they're up against the Deathwatch kill team.
I like
so,
those little
um,
baby
you-
doomsday
the guns on those can take out
blasters.
Space
They're
Marines.
really
They get
cute.
a good solid round of firepower. They
Yeah,
are one of
absolutely.
the. You've got your kind of central character, which does all the kind of utility stuff. Then you've got two really good solid gun platforms, and then you've got the rest of the force, which whizzes around and does the objective taking stuff.
Yeah, no,
It's a
for real,
really
rock and
flexible
stone. It's,
little kill team.
I'm
Also
allowing
worth
that.
pointing out that the box has a bunch of Necron warriors.
Yep.
Why does it have a bunch of Necron warriors? You might ask. They're not in the kill team. Well, one of the other things that you get inside this box is rules for playing basically co-op missions where you both play as Deathwatch and you're up against hordes, undying hordes of Necron
Yeah,
warriors.
it's-
as they
joint
wave.
operations is super fun. And,
Wait, so you can do
the
horde
chance to
mode?
Do this as a
That
Deathwatch
sounds
team
actually
and
kinda
sort of
cool.
Stalking around a Necron, awakening Necron tomb complexes. Almost. To a
That
human
sounds
system.
really
And
fun.
just a great other way of playing the game. as
I'm
well.
going to totally jump on it. Have a look around this board, and you can see in some of those alcoves there are those reanimating Necrons and
And there's like weird
It's-
portals
stuff.
and
it's
glyphs
just
and all sorts of stuff.
replete
Yeah.
with cool imagery. There's fallen masonry. You can imagine they've been asleep for so long that seismic events, whatever, of course, needs to fall down. Plus, and or maybe the wolf spear hitting everything with his hammer. Yeah, this is going to be just peak.
That might get
Warhammer
me into
adventure
Kill Team,
in,
actually. That's
a
really
tomb complex.
interesting.
I love it.
Official
And
horde
of
mode,
course,
yeah.
both of these kill teams will be usable in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
There'll be a way to use your Deathwatch in that game as well, and your new Necrons. And of course, there is a new book, a new dossier that comes with this, which has all the rules you need to play these in your games of Kill Team.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of them in the flesh. It comes in a box. There you go. Let's have a look at some of these in the flesh. In particular, it'd be good to get the Geo.
Poor Hammer will sue. Poor Hammer in shambles. What am I missing here?
My favourite with the Frank cannon, but when you put the Geomancer in here, square enough. There we go.
Man, that Geomancer is
There's
actually a lot
some, like,
smaller.
narrative
Yeah, no, let's
around
totally
the
play
events
Kill Team
here,
at
which is
LVL. I'm
quite
down.
cool. We were having a
I still
really
have like the
fun
Leagues of
random
Votann
Geomancer,
Hernkin
maybe.
Kill Team, fully painted.
If you haven't already tweaked
My
tweaking it,
poor
this is-
wallet. No, goddamn right, yeah.
So you get a nice mix of scale from obviously.
Those
the
Necron
Geomancer
models
and
are
the,
just not meant to survive. Those will
the
break
reanimators on the
so
sides.
easily.
Loads of stuff to feast
Also,
on.
shout out to
This
that
is
guy,
going to
the
be
little
very
bug on the
exciting.
far
Looking
left
at
that
the
has
Deathwatch
its
very popular
little
fan.
pincy pins off
And
the
they're
base.
so iconic within the concept of Kill Team. You
Yeah,
know,
I think wouldn't be an exaggeration to say the most requested Kill Team, since the concept of Kill Team was sort of
Interesting.
re-emerged into the
yeah,
consciousness.
absolutely. Right. I think we've done it.
I think we've done it.
We're around the 90-minute mark. I did say it would be a long one, but we've shown you all of our Warhammer previews. We should go to question corner. That was good prompt. Well done. Simon, there's probably a question or three, right?
There's quite a few. Yeah. Do you want some rapid fire ones to get you going?
Hit us. Let's see what we can do.
We're within 12.
Okay, let's go. So start off with Old World. Are the new Tomb King minis resin or plastic?
They are plastic.
Multi-part plastic kits. Definitely said it.
Let's go with the Kill Team Tomb World. Is the new Necron terrain similar in dimension to the Gallodark terrain?
It is similar. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Yeah, Gallodark would be a good reference point.
So
Rough.
we've got,
I got the Gallodark
Warhammer
set because
Underworlds,
that's
will the new warbands or
the
any
kill
of the
team
re-released
that had
Grand Alliance
Links of
warbands be
Votann in
receiving
it.
rules to use them in Warhammer.
$5.99. The Geomancer is a little bigger than other Mancers. Interesting. Okay.
Certainly, I'm not going to commit. There you go. Show my face as a face of non-committal.
One thing that is worth saying is that quite a lot of the new battle tomes have a place for the Warhammer Underworld's warbands as generic archetypes of that thing. So the Gloomspite kits, for example, you've got a place for the wolves.
I think that's a more comprehensive answer.
That's
Eddie,
probably the place that you'll find them going forwards.
Yeah, that's fair. The Hellsmiths are going into Warcraft. We said that already.
Yes. Yeah.
Well done us.
So
been a long night.
the Adeptus Astartes ones we've just seen. Does Subadin Khan have a helmeted option?
He does have a helmeted option.
Oh.
Although I think
Safety first.
any adherence to health and safety would be an absolute abomination when you're riding free in the wind.
You
like the
might be
White
riding in a vacuum, at
No,
which point
no,
you're probably
just
allowed.
hold your breath.
I like
Just
helmeted options more,
Okay,
weirdly
full
enough,
skull
even though I
and
love
so
painting skin.
So where can we expect to see the lore and rules for the shiny new characters?
That is a great question.
That's a good question.
The rules will be available online.
So some of the rules, if the character is being re-released, already exist
Yeah,
in Codex
that's true.
Space Marine.
So Darnath, Lysander,
yeah,
covered off
Vulcan and
already.
Lysander are already there. The other rules will be available online.
And I'm really glad you asked about the lore because I know a thing. Phil Kelly from the Warhammer 40,000 lore team came and had a chat with me, and they've written full background for each of these characters and narrative stories, which we'll be hosting on Warhammer Community in the week leading up to their release when that happens.
Okay.
I'm super excited because I don't know anything about Aethon Shan and I want to learn his story. So yes, there we go.
Well, the helmet problem
So we've
for
got
40k
two
is
more,
always weird to
ones
me.
we can. So the Horus Heresy Age of
We'll
Darkness
get into it in a second.
are some of the Wargate options that are currently no longer available to certain units ever going to be revisited?
So that's a good question. So we do know that there will be more things released in plastic across the course of this edition. With some of those plastic kits, you may see war gear options returning that previously been
You
available.
may.
You might also see some war gear options that have never existed before added to those units. So hopefully that answers some of the question.
Yeah, Grant. One last one was on the Scouring. How many books can we expect to see in the series?
At least one, because it's got the number 1 on the side of it. I don't want to
I
steal the thunder
want
of
you
any future sort of
to
news
shut
from Black Library
your
other than
mouth.
to announce it today.
At least one.
But
Okay.
what they have told us, and it was one of the best conversations in
Okay.
my professional life ever to sit down with the editing team from Black Library as they sort of poured the Scouring lore into my open brain, was this is a multi-book, multi-author series, and so you're going to be following it for some years to come.
Grant.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Well, there's bazillions more questions that I couldn't possibly get to. They're scrolling past so quick. It's all I could do to find the ones I got. But yeah, thanks.
That's great. What remains, I guess, at this point in the juncture is, first of all, to thank all of you for tuning in and spending 90 minutes. on
Anything
brilliant
last
Warhammer
minute?
podcast. I've really enjoyed myself.
I had a great time. I always have a great time.
Awesome. There's some general housekeeping to do. If you've missed anything in this and you want to know more, go to warhammercommunity.com. Read the articles that are there on the website. There's pictures. There's more information than Eddie and I would have remembered to tell you. And you can watch the videos back as well. If you are looking for more Warhammer excitement right now in your life, we're going to throw back to Tacoma, where there's Warhammer 40,000 tournament taking place, I believe, right now is what we're going back to.
Okay.
So you can hang around here, especially on the Twitch channel. I believe that is true. What else is there to say? The helmet. Go and find it on warhammermerch.com. I think we're done.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Simon, for asking questions. Thanks to the crew here who've made it all work. Eddie, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We can't wait to see you again next time. Take care.
I think it's for real over. I think they got nothing else. Okay. 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 Let me just get the Warhammer community page up so we can look at this. So how are we feeling? How are we feeling? How are we feeling, boys? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like we got shit that I genuinely wanted. I'm satisfied beyond satisfied. I got a second wave of Votann. There's no riot that's going to happen. I've chosen peace. I've chosen to live. I've chosen to be happy. We are going to be happy. Yes, for the League's new Vulcan, I'm happy. Yeah, no Vulcan, his stand, got a new model. Let's go through it. Let's break it down a little bit. Also, I wanted to say the Space Marine helmet problem, I never got that in the way that, like, so a bullet that's going to be able to break through a Space Marine's skull is going to be able to break through a Space Marine's helmet. So, like, not wearing a helmet is basically the same as having the same level of protection, except you're just not going to get any scratches from small arms fire. So, it makes sense that they might not wear a helmet, because some Space Marines, their senses are a lot better without the helmets on, weirdly enough. Like, Space Wolves, canonically, if they don't wear a helmet, they can smell better. Nothing particularly new for Heresy. Yeah, the Heresy stuff was a little disappointing, but like, let's go back and look at this shit. Let's look at this shit. So we got Buri Einarson, the Thrice Devoured special character. Yeah, he's from the Emberg A-Year block, the Mad Core. He's the last surviving kin of that. That's pretty cool. Arcanist Evaluator. I really like the kin, like the Iron Kin helmet for that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I do like it. Part mad scientist, part deadly gunner, and all kin. Okay, yeah, chill. The Memnir strategist is, I think, my favorite out of all of these. I just really like the pose on this. This is straight up one of the coolest looking miniatures in the line. I love the fact that we got, I think, 1, 2, 3... Yeah, 3 new characters, 1 named, and 1, 2, 3 new units, but each unit can be made in multiple ways. Ironkin Steeljacks, I really like the look of them. They're cool. They're weirdly uncanny, but like in a good way. I like these a lot. I like these a lot. Steeljacks, I think they are a little weird looking, but I like the weirdness to them. They're interesting. There was a mention in the Leagues of Votann book about warframes for, like, Ironkin. Yeah, I know, warframes. Chill. I know some people's gonna do that. Sour Balls with the 140k gift sub. Hell yeah. Thank you. Or the 1 gift sub, yeah. I do like the big guns. I kind of want to see what they can do. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They could be more bulky. Yeah, I could see that. But I think I also just don't like that specific paint scheme. I'm going to paint them as Trans-Hyperion Alliance type deal. Ironkin unit is great. I wanted to see more Ironkin stuff. Yeah. Side note, the reverse... the reverse mortar, the one that goes down, I like that a lot, actually. The giant mortars and the special mortar ammunition that goes next to them. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, they are a bit top heavy, but I kind of like it. It makes them look more like an old plastic toy. They kind of have the same proportions of like an old He-Man toy from like the 80s. I kind of fuck with it. So we got the dwarves, the Chthonian Earthshakers. I like it. The Capricus. I'm a little disappointed by this. I think that it looks cool. I just wish that we had a transport that transported 10, and that's it. That's it. I just wanted transported 10. But a sort of hypermobile gun unit that could, yeah, I'll go with it. Looks like they have like Gauss rifles. They have high-las autocannons. They have a bunch of other weapons on there. But a 5-person transport for like Hernkin Jaegers, I could get behind that, yeah. Versions of that 1-man iron model. Yeah, they do too. I think they're a more advanced version of it too. So I'm happy with the Votann releases, though I do wish they had like a heavy hitter drone. There we go. Man, I am out of it this morning. Tomb King releases. Royal Heralds definitely needed it. They still need a combat walker of some sort. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So, Royal Heralds, pretty good. Lich Priests, we needed those. The old ones are still pretty old. Scouring, I'll get into it. I think I'll try and stay on track with the Scouring. I'm pretty bad at staying on track for these kinds of things, but, like, yeah. I'll do that. The new Flesh Eater Court model the High Falcon or Felgrin. I love him. He's really cool. I really like that he's doing the "Whoa, bat be upon you" meme. It's pretty good. Has Bone crashed out? No, exact opposite. I have found peace. I have found love. There is beauty in my heart and love in my brain. I feel joy again. As someone who quite enjoys the Flesh Eater Quartz, I really like these models. They're pretty good. Let's do a little bit more of a breakdown. Okay, let's get to the biggest one here, the Hellsmiths of Hashut. Though the Votann was pretty big, the Hellsmiths of Hashut are pretty good. Something is off about them in a way that I can't place, but these models are genuinely, like, probably on my hit list. They look exactly like how Chaos Dwarves should. Like, they look chunky. They look very, very, like, everything was made in a metal fabricator that pumps out smog like you wouldn't believe. And I like the very angular look of these. Like, there is no curved swords here. And if they are, they're used by someone else that isn't a dwarf. Everything is straight angles. I kind of dig it. The Dominator engines look fantastic. I think, because, like, they had, like, two options. They could do something new, or they could do the, Kashai, whatever they're called. The demons from, like, the old world. Not the old world. The, Total Warhammer 3, where they could have, like, these little things. And yeah, but they chose something new, and I kind of like the look of these. It's a very unique model. It's a very interesting take on a Minotaur. It's a Minotaur brass bull, obviously, you know, but I think it's really cool. And then you have the Demon Smith. I like the little demon hand that they have. That's really cool. I also like the Ashen Elder. I think it's a very simple model. I'm very easily impressed by simple models, and, like, models that don't have, like, the character is what you put in them, right? Bull Centaurs, obvious classic pick. I love the Anointed Sentinels too, because I just like how simply and weirdly pasty they are. It does make me a little uncomfortable, like their bright nipples. It's weird. Oh yeah, the Infernal Razors. These guys are really cool. I like the look of them. The dwarves are nice, or the beards are nice. The Hobgrots, I love seeing Hobgrots. As someone who painted Stabgrots and whatever for Destruction for a while, I do like seeing Hobgrots get more rep. They're pretty cool. Uruktar, I really like this model. I love how the pose is. I love how he is just fucking unnaturally shredded with, like, a Baki demon back or some shit. It kind of looks like he has a metal arm too, or maybe just metal armor on his arm, but it looks cool. Then you have the other demons, but that bull is going to look so good on tabletop. It's not even funny. They had Shorfs for Old World. Yeah, honestly, I kind of wish they did bring it back, but if my Season 2 theory for the Old World is true, then they're going to do that. Then we have the Warhammer Underworld shit, which I'm not a big fan of, but they look fine. They look what they need to be. Like, I like her. She's pretty chill. I like Big Fat Dwarf. Big Fat Dwarf is pretty fun. It's a good archetype. But these guys look a little bit too similar to, like, the units you could buy out other worlds. Does anybody give a shit about Legions Imperialis? I like them. I thought they were cool. So we got the Mastodon Heavy Assault Transports, Scorpius, and the Whirlwind. It's got a bunch of shit that, like, really is kind of necessary to play the game. I thought they were cool. Age of Darkness. I'm genuinely surprised that we only got to see, like, these that we've already seen before. They look great. I love the chain axes, because chain axes are very much an Iron Warriors thing more so than chain swords. And I'm surprised that we didn't see Terminators. Yeah, they did backpedal a little bit, but it doesn't seem like... So... Okay, so I think saying that they backpedaled is not necessarily correct. I do think that they forgot to let us know that we can still use models that don't have models, but they're kind of making sure to stress it as much as possible right now that you can kit bash models and that they're going to be releasing rules later. Because in 40k, you can either make money by selling models or selling rules. I prefer selling rules because to sell models, you need to make people want them. And most people have the armies that they want right now, so they're not really going to want to buy new models unless it really appeals to them. So the other option is to make it so that some of the models that you use are not going to be as good or as usable as new models that they release. So a good example, like right here, Vulcan Histan. People want this model because the old one is a little bit dated, and this model looks really good. Same with like Darnith Lysander, and this is just a new model, and they didn't invalidate Kayvon Shrike. They just made, he's tired, he's sleepy, and I like this guy's hair more because he looks weird. But, so, with the Horus Heresy is a game that's existed for so long that all of these like super... yeah, it's kind of a calm down, dipshits, but I don't think we should all be like, oh, it's okay, guys, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. No, see, they're gonna do it, No, I still think we were all rightfully annoyed that in the release book there were models that we could not use. I don't think Tartaros in like legal formats, not like regular, but I mean in legacies, like outside of legacies, I don't think Tartaros Terminators are going to be getting like power fists again because GW wants to sell the new kits. I think that it's a bad practice, but it's an understandable one. It's one that makes sense from the context of like the game, because once you have your army, you don't really need to buy new ones. Like everybody has Tartaros and Cataphractii Terminators out the ass, so why would you buy new ones? Well, if the ones you have are invalid. Now, I dodged that bullet pretty damn hard because I made all my shit with power axes for my Night Lords, but regardless, I think that them stating that, I think it was a little bit of a backpedal, because I feel like they didn't realize how much of a negative it was going to be, because if they knew how bad people were going to react, they wouldn't have brought it up, and they also wouldn't have included it in the rules, because it's a company. They got to make company decisions. They have to make decisions that make it so that they make money. And with the Horus Heresy, it's kind of hard to make money because all the models that they're trying to release are basically just remakes of older models that have existed in resin. So it makes sense that they're trying to release new models. I just disagree with the way that they're doing it. Horus Heresy had legacies since first edition. Yes, but the legacies almost have always been for, say, like, if you want to run Casterferum Dreadnoughts, or you want to run, like, Dominator Cohorts, which are models that you just can't play anymore, because in the era that we're playing, it wouldn't really make sense, and supporting everything makes sense. So they're trying to get rid of, like, the extra fluff. But they didn't just cut away all the fluff. They got rid of a bunch of stuff that I think doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, I agree and I disagree. Let me just check. Bunny Cop. To be fair, GW blew its load earlier this year with Cathay hot air balloons, but OMG, so much marine slop. Yeah. I have a full army for this $5 from Linky. I have a full army of 30k. If/when GW releases Mark 4 or 5 Marines, I'm replacing my whole army with them. Yeah, and that's kind of what a lot of people are kind of doing. That's what a lot of people did. But I do think that it was a little short-sighted for them to, like, do that. Release the rules and state that you can't play a lot of the Marines, that a lot of people played them in their own specific ways. So, what do I mean? Well, like, again, Tartaros Terminators is one of them, but then you have veteran squads that aren't allowed to have combi weapons. You have a lot of, like, unit-specific models that are not allowed to, or Legion-specific models. Like, if I remember, people were complaining about the Mordathon. I think that's how they're pronounced. They're this special unit for the Raven Guard. They're not allowed to take combi weapons anymore, if I'm remembering correctly. And a lot of people were complaining about that because that was the main way people ran them. There's there's also destroyers. Destroyers with jump packs were taken out. What do you call it? I think it was just Centurions. So Centurions with Terminators, Centurion with jump packs, Centurions with Terminator armor. Those are not allowed right now. Now, I will state, this is a bit of a caveat. I will admit that I'm wrong. And I will backpedal my answer here, and I will apologize. But if they are doing it by, like, releasing rules later, then yeah, no, sure. I guess they're allowed to do that if they want to keep things balanced to make the game easier to get into for new players, because that's the big thing with Horus Heresy. It's always been a very maximal game. It's very much that type of game that you throw at people who really like to look at spreadsheets, and I am that type of guy. I play fucking Battletech. But if they're cutting down the fluff only to drip feed us with rules for like units that were cut later, or put everything in legacies and allow people to use it, then why not just include the rules off rip and avoid the backlash? Because I genuinely know so many people that are just not going to do Horus Heresy 3rd edition because of the cuts. And I know not even more, but I know just about as many people who were going to do that until they announced that legacies were a thing. So, from either perspective you look at it, GW did kind of fuck up a little bit. And it's either they were doing this to try and sell miniatures and they failed because, well, they just didn't realize how much people were attached to their armies, or it was one of those, or it was just a marketing failure. Like, they genuinely just did not understand that people immediately were going to assume that they're never going to release these models, even if they had the entire intention, which they should have been a lot more upfront about, and they should clarify that a bit more. I know that they want to keep things like on the down low for like secrets so that people get hype, but when there's a chance that like people's entire armies could just be invalidated, like what if you ran like an entire scout army? Scouts were a troop choice, they were a viable troop choice. Some armies ran nothing but troops, and now you just can't run them. Same with something like drop pod assault. What if you wanted to run melee drop pods, like despoiler squads, and you wanted to run them? You can't do that anymore. What if that was your main army? I knew a World Eaters player who did do that, but now he can't because you can't run assault, you can't assault turn 1, or you can't assault after getting out of a drop pod, which, yeah, see, that's why I'm kind of giving it both the benefit of the doubt on both ends. I think marketing failure seems better because that means that all of us will be able to play whatever we want, whenever we want, at some point. But I still think that we should hold them accountable for it if they're doing so, right? Yeah. That's why I'm trying to keep my head firm. I'm going to play Horus Heresy. I think the game rules look fantastic. I do think that a lot of people did overreact to the rules themselves because, like, I had a feeling that it was. Now, I overreacted. I'm a little guilty of it. But I'm kind of like, this is, regardless of how you look at it, this was a stupid decision on GW's part. And I think that they should have been either more transparent or realized that there was going to be just a ludicrous amount of backlash, because there was. Everybody has the right to backlash these fuckers, because, like, it's like, oh, what if you just didn't allow jump pack units to exist with, like, lightning claws? Like, what if the sergeants can no longer take lightning claws and every single Night Lords player out there was like, ah, this is fucking bullshit. But yeah. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. The marketing was shit. Legacies also has new units that did not exist. Praetorian command squads on jet bikes. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, no, me too. My reaction literally was like, I'll play whatever I want to play. I already told friends that I'm not going to stop playing Horus Heresy. I'll just go back and play the prior edition. Because the prior edition doesn't disappear just because the new one comes out. And I play whatever I want, right? So there is that. There is that. When are we getting those? Yeah, we didn't have 30k. Yeah, sent them an absolutely scathing email. I called them all skinwalkers and everything. Feel kind of bad about it now. I mean, I'm not one to be against the idea of hyperbole. I play a character in live streams. I'm all about being overly bombastic, but, like, at the end of the day, you don't want to be too, like, explosively, it's so fucking over, because then you turn into one of those YouTubers that are a little bit too into that kind of idea. I know I exploded about the Leagues of Votann, but that was obviously a little bit performative. I think that, yeah, I see what Leo's saying in chat. Invalidating something that exists already is a red flag. Yeah, you're 100% right. It is a red flag, which is why they should catch flack for it. I don't think it was as bad as people were thinking it was going to be, because I feel like GW was going to catch up. I was just kind of keeping my head to the ground and kind of keeping an ear out for it. But I do think that we should give them flack for what they did, because, you know, GW is a company that, like, if you let them get away with this, they'll continue to do it type of deal. Though I'm the type of person that's like, I just want them to release all of the models all at once at a cheaper price and then just sell me a new book every 6 months for, like, my faction. Like, I'm fine with having to pay, like, $100 every like 4 or 5 months to buy a new book rather than have to buy the new funny unit, right? Also weird they didn't tease custodians. Yeah, there was a lot of shit that I'm surprised they didn't tease, but I'm happy. I'm not allowed to complain. This was a really, really, really good reveal. At least nobody publicly burned their stuff this time. Yeah, you're right. At least nobody did that yet. That's kind of funny. Constant clickbait is exhausting. Good content will keep people watching. Yeah, no, for real. There's like so many YouTubers that like I follow that like they're gonna burn themselves out over time because they just keep making video that's like hateful and angry and GW dead. It's like GW is a company. There are a bunch of people that have to pass through these decisions, and if we didn't have them, we wouldn't have 4Camer. 4Camer? We wouldn't have Warhammer. So I understand why they make the decisions that they do. I just don't agree with them inherently most of the time. But I try not to rage as much as I did publicly. I try and make jokes about it now. But yeah. It is what it is. Sad no plastic demons of the Ruinstorm. I am sorry. That shit is not coming out for an eon. We are going to be in the next epoch before we get plastic demons of the Ruinstorm. 4Camer, the perfect eating utensil. Yeah! Hell yeah. I missed everything. What did they do, reveal mention? Second wave Leagues of Votann, Tomb Kings, bunch of new models. Like they did Chaos Dwarves for AOS. It's pretty chill. They did a thing. I distrust how GW treats, treats customers, but I do like how they treat their employees. Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah, apparently it's pretty chill to work with them. They're apparently very well. $2 from Ran. As a former Warhammer Fantasy Druchii player, I'm used to this. Yeah, that's fair. From what I've heard, like, not many people have any bad things to say when they leave GW as a company, that's good. That's a good thing to hear. Though I could be, like, misreading it, but like the big celebrity guys like Peachy and Duncan and so on, like they used to work for them, and when they come back they had nothing but like good stories to tell. Fun to pull, but like a drug, it's eventually gonna pull you down to depression. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, Cracked Oak, same. Those reveals were amazing. I missed the start of the show. Did they mention the timeline of show units that might drop? No, they didn't mention any timelines from what I've seen. All the reveals are up if you want to go see them. I think I'm going to be streaming for like another 5-10 minutes at most, just to answer any questions that anybody has before we head off. At most, they do demon brutes in plastic. Yeah. Yeah, GW did give a bonus to all their employees because of how good last year was for sales. It's kind of great, actually. There's a new Lion novel where he meets up with Gilliman or kicks someone's ass. Yeah. I swear half of these Warhammer Outrage creators should watch your video on Mortarion and why bitterness is corrosive to the soul. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. The most recent video, like literally the one I put out a couple hours ago, it was literally, it's kind of a subversion on that concept. Where it starts off with me kind of being a bit of a complainy big bitch, and then it devolves into me breaking down why. But, yeah. Have you watched K-pop Demon Hunters, Mr. Bones? No, but it's on my list. I've heard it's good. They won't do another roadmap after the last one was such a mess. Yeah, you're right. I cannot stand the rage bait channels. No, same. It's like, it's one of the most poisonous things for this community. But I will state, unless like 100%, unless 100% provoked, and like if someone's like actually actively like interacting with me, I try not to ever call out YouTube channels. I try and deal with it privately. I don't like rage bait channels. We all know a bunch of them. I don't like them, but the thing is I still have to show them a degree of respect because they're in my sphere. They're basically my coworkers. And as much as they probably wouldn't do the same for me, I still have to, like, it doesn't matter who it is. If it's someone that I disagree with, I have to some degree, respect the hustle. I gotta respect, real gets real. It doesn't matter if you're an asshole or not. We're both doing the same thing, and high tides raise all ships. So if I drag you down, I'm just dragging myself down too. So, it's cool. Yeah. Gotta put this membership to good use and watch some of your locked videos. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of them. Hey, what's your lion doing? GW, I don't fucking know. Hanging out, I guess. I love that one image. I gotta find this, actually. It's a meme. The lion and Gilliman meme. I'm just trying to find this. It's just like what Gilliman is doing versus what the lion is doing. Where the fuck is this? It's kind of a weirdly obscure one. I found it a little while back and I can't even remember where I found it. Yeah, I can't find it. I'm not gonna invest that much time. Okay, I think I might have it. Oh, Linky donated something. 1 second. Is there a chance I could have found it with this search criteria? No? Okay. No. Okay, whatever. I'll leave it be. Don't care. $4.99. Remember Janovich said that GW wants to get rid of old fans and lore tubers? I could understand why he felt that way. I didn't watch the video because, again, it's like I don't want to make myself paranoid about the future. But like being targeted by GW, it's weird because you're dealing with the copyright laws of like 2 different countries, and I don't know how if the UK differs from like North America. So, or wherever Janovich is located. I don't follow his content. That's the funny thing. Once you start doing 40K content or YouTube, you don't watch anybody in your sphere most of the time. So yeah. But it seems like he was rightfully pissed off. Though again, hyperbole does kind of do that shit. Janovich is buddy with that wretch Arch. Hey, I don't really like Arch's content. But again, the golden rule. I always offer everybody in my sphere the same level of respect that I would expect from them to me. I disagree with like a lot of his views, and I really didn't like his like recent Trench Crusade videos. I just watched them because I was like, well, what does Arch have to say about this? But again, we're all in the same ship together, and if we start fighting, it just doesn't do much of anything. But he did do some pretty damn good lore back in the day. If I remember correctly, his like Siege of Rax video is still one of the best, though I might be confusing him with someone else. I think Malkador Mini should show. Malkador Mini shouldn't happen. Very right. I don't think an old man that could just turn off the brain functions of everybody on a board would work. Also, thank you for the $2, Muppet. Sorry that you... Yeah. Some of y'all want bones to get into a fight. Don't worry. Yeah. What do you think of that loser Crack Duck? I don't know. I like the Crack Duck impersonators better. I think they're funnier. Nah, I used to be an angry as shit person, but now I'm like, nah, I don't have it in my heart to hate people that I don't know. Crack Duck is a weird little goober, 100% wholesome. Yeah. It's always disconcerting because Crack Duck is such a low energy guy in person, but like when I watch his videos, it's just like I'm just getting bombarded with like blasts of energy. I'm like, holy fuck! Holy fuck! It's a lot. It's a lot, actually. Let's see. Oh, we got $9.99 from Theo Lambert. Hey, Arthur. Your bit about Magnus on Astartes Anonymous had my friends and I rolling. It was 4th of July. We were exhausted and making it 10 times funnier. Hell yeah! It's kind of funny. I was actually thinking about that podcast appearance recently. It's been a minute, but I was like, man, it's really funny. Goddamn, I used to be so funny. What happened? Gives me Surf Pro vibes. Yeah, it is kind of funny. My legacy is just Magnus the Red, because I don't know, I don't really care. I find him boring, but like other than that, he's just really funny to shit on because I don't like him. Arthur was funny until the incident. Yeah, I slipped and fell on an ice pick. All right, fellas. It's getting a little bit later in the afternoon than I want it to be. I have to get to work because I've got to do some shit because I'm going to Anime Iowa. If any of you are going to that, I'm going to be visiting with a few friends, going to a convention in the States. So if any of you are at Anime Iowa, yeah, we can try and find me. Was it the bed wet incident with Crack Duck? No. Was it the incident where I had a really funny... Okay. So I gotta tell a funny story. Before I go. Yeah, hey, Crack Duck, can I tell the airport story? Because Crack Duck's directly involved in this. It's really funny. But I don't know. I want to see if he's okay with it, because it is very mean. It is very mean. Oh no, everybody's saying bye. I backpedaled too slow. I just want to know. Only Iowans call it that. No, it was the ice picketing. Okay, okay. Am I allowed to talk about the airport thing, Crack? I just really want to know. Bald guy, beard at a convention. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So this was so funny. I have a curse, and it's a really fun little thing that happens. That no matter what happens, where I go, I will always meet interesting characters just by accident. I don't invite this into my life. I'll just go to random places and then just weirdos will like approach me. Not even gonna get into it, but yesterday I had a crackhead actually come up to my door, like out to my house while I was in my game room, like playing like BattleTech with a friend, and asked to buy my friend's van. I've never seen this man before, but when I was going to LVO the first time and we were like doing some scheduling, I ran into a guy at the airport when I was in the Toronto airport. It was one of the lore guys for Creature Caster, and he's the guy that's currently in charge of the lore for their Trench Crusade group known as the Great Hunger. And I was in the line talking, and I saw him, and he looked at my sweater, and I was wearing a Berserk hoodie, and he's like, "Ah, that's a really good hoodie. I like that. Berserk." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I look over and I see he's got the Creature Caster logo on his sweater. I was like, "Is that a Creature Caster logo?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I know where you're going," because we were going to Adepticon. He's like, "Oh, you a guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm a content creator." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I've Mr. Bones 40K. Here's my channel." He's like, "Oh yeah, I actually watch your videos from time to time." And then he just started to lore dump about like the Great Hunger before it was really fully shown off, and he showed me a few models. I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And we were in the line to get on the same plane because we were going to the same place, and I was so excited. And I messaged the group chat that has like me and a bunch of other like content creators that are like good friends of mine. So it's like Crack Duck, Mishmash, Pancreas No Work, a few others that I can't seem to remember at the moment. But I messaged them and I was like, guys, I just ran into one of the Creature Caster guys, and and they wanted me to come see them at their booth so that they could tell me about the Great Hunger. And Crack Duck, during the same minute, responded with, "That is incredibly uninteresting. What kind of car do you want for the rental car?" And I'm like, okay, I guess my shit doesn't matter. I was so actually sad. Oh, it was so sad. Even everybody in the chat thought it was really mean, but he was just joking, obviously. But it was really, really fucking funny. But yeah, so that was that's the shame of Crack Duck. That was him bullying some poor 28-year-old. What a fiend! What a fiend! Let's close this. Okay, bruh, OMG. You asked the brimstone shit right there. Crack Duck is a skank. What? Ow, the duck we don't see. Chaos Crack Duck. Yeah, no, it was very mean, but it was really funny, so I gave him the pass. That was very uninteresting. Okay, fellas. It's time for me to head off. I hope you all had a wonderful night. And, or wonderful night. Yeah, I'm not used to streaming during the day. I hope you had a wonderful stream. And, yeah. Okay. Goodbye. I'm gonna mute myself and turn up the music now. Let this wind out.